BMT. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. Riding around, try to play the Romans, innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos. Behind closed doors, she rocked them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong. Knowing damn well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat, bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worrying about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in cold. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
All stand, please. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. The solemn court now stands adjourned, sine die. God save the state and this honorable court.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. You may be seating this motherfucker. Shit. Shout out to the Bay Mama Tears Bounty Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer. And today we're going to have a discussion about the Black Manosphere, Mr. Palmer being in the Elle magazine. A lot of guys probably don't know about the Elle magazine, but I've been knowing about the Elle magazine for a long time because my mom had the Elle magazine in the house. And it's worldwide, very popular for women. And we had a woman by the name of, what was her name? Nicole Young, to do an article on the Black Manosphere. And I'm gonna let y'all check it out. Some of y'all already read it, but I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna let y'all read it. I'm gonna read it to y'all. It just never ceased to amaze me on how when Black men speak the truth, you always got somebody
you can't handle the truth.
They can't handle the truth. So what they do, they tend to put out judgment of some assumptions, and you know how they say about us: hateful men, you hate Black women, broke, dusty, and everything else, far as I'm concerned. And I want to give a shout out to LAR movement for putting me on game. He didn't want to send it to me that night, and I see she had an interview with Mad Bus Driver. That's the man who created Save Yourselves Black Men. Shout out to him. She also did an interview with Obsidian. I saw it on some of it on Jessica X. And shout out Jessica X because she's up in the building right now as we speak. And I heard some of the interview from Obsidian on her platform. I also saw some of it on his platform. And today even Bernard Riley spoke on it as well. So shout out to all three of them. And like I said, it's unfortunate now that you got so many black men speaking up. You got so many black men calling all the bullshit out, trying to get men to see it for what it is and have options and change the laws of your mind, try to be a high value man, and so on. But then you got somebody who consider themselves a black, queer, feminist to tell you that the manosphere, the black manosphere, is about hate and being incels. Oh yeah, that's funny. That's funny. You know, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all though. Y'all already know I'm not part of the black manosphere. You can call me an associate of black manosphere, you know, and I have no problem with that. And off top, they don't even know who they really talking about. They just putting people in one basket and saying, yeah, these are the guys who talk about women or hate women or whatever. You know, that you can't make this bullshit up. And this is the link to the Elle magazine. Like I said, it's a mainstream outlet, and you definitely can get your light shine and everything else. Now, the thing about it is, I was getting a lot of comments on Facebook when I put it out there, and they would say, "Hey, man, you being famous, you getting your shine on, you getting fame. I don't give a fuck about no motherfucking fame. That shit don't make me feel no bigger than what I am today. I mean, it's a good look, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Putting my name out there, but that don't mean shit to me because my goal is for brothers and men as a whole to build a brotherhood, to change the laws in our mind and see it for what it is when it comes to this unjust system called child support, family court, these baby mama terrorists, these feminists, and so on, these symbol forces. That's my goal. And until I build more men to come together and do that, then I ain't famous shit. Now, a lot of people got in their feelings behind closed doors, talking about how the fuck you put him in here. He only got 7,000 views and shit. People come hit me up looking all type of way and shit about that. I don't give no fuck about your subscribes and views, nigga. I really don't. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm putting out some real shit when it comes to the unjust system. I'm putting this shit out when it comes to these government daddies and these feminists that's out here to destroy you, these baby mama terrorists. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna let you dumb motherfuckers in the back really know about me. I've been doing this shit for 5 years, going on 6 years now. I've been doing this since like 2016 with Fuck Child Support. I didn't just come around the corner. Now you see me on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for about a year, going on maybe a year and a half. But I've been doing this shit for over 5 motherfucking years. So I don't want no misunderstanding that I'm just some Johnny come lately coming in the game. Now I'm late coming on YouTube, but late coming in doing what I do? No, not at all. And the thing about it is, this is where I started from. I started from Facebook. And this has been going on, like I said, since 2016. You go on my platform, it's me. And even on my platform now, to this day, now I'm at 207,928 followers that follows me. So when motherfuckers want to come out and say, oh, you only got 7,000 subscribers and 7,000 followers, that's just over here. But where I started from, that's where I began. And my shit is still trending. Even just this video right here, yesterday, is 5.8 shares, 5,800 shares. That's yesterday. See, I've been doing this, and this shit is real. And I have the right to brag about it, even though I'm not bragging. But I'm telling you, so when y'all motherfuckers in the back talk about he ain't got enough views, he He just a dude trying to get involved at the clique and shit. Fuck your motherfucking clique. So I ain't gotta be in no Elle magazine. I ain't gotta be in no Ebony magazine. I ain't gotta be on nobody's magazine because I'm not looking to take nobody's shit away. Everybody on here from the Black Manosphere and outside Black Manosphere has got their own lane, and everybody got the same agenda, is to improve Black men's mindset. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all motherfuckers want to mention me, please know more about me. Just like in this punk ass magazine. And I'm gonna put the magazine up, but before I do that, I wanted to also have my brother, the coach of cognition, on here because he's old school and also he's a licensed therapist, and I want to talk to him about the mindset of these Black queer feminists on why do they have this type of ideology when it comes to Black men speaking their piece. When you got all these baby mama tests with their YouTube platforms teaching you about if you pregnant and it's a Black male, abort it. But y'all don't say nothing about that. See, these are queens, martyrs, and goddess and Mother Earths and nature's finest. But when men like me and others have a platform to speak our piece with logistics and CDCs and stats, they say you hate women and you here to destroy women and your mama Black and everything else. I never understand. So I definitely need his assistant on this. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let the coach of cognition come on in and speak his piece as well. Shout out to the coach. This already trying to laugh.
You're a funny dude.
You already know what it is.
Well, listen, man. We definitely got to change the law of our mind, man. And what it's about is really about male empowerment or the lack thereof, Mr. Palmer, because many continue to see, American men, but specifically ADOS men, as the arbiters of hate and pain. And it was very perfunctory on her end to associate you with it. I think she had Dr. Wallace, Dr. Thunder name in it as well.
You know what? I apologize. Yeah, she had Dr. Thunder in the magazine. I could not believe it. I was actually surprised and shocked because I'm like, right. Out of all people, you put the Dr. Thunder up in there, who's right. A profession, who's a right. he's a scholar, he's a professor at Ohio State University. But I realize, in my opinion, why they put his name in there, because they're trying to say, well, this is dude right here is a professional. This dude is a teacher or professor at Ohio State University, right, teaching hate against quote unquote Black women to make it look bad. Right. And that's just my opinion.
Right. And see, many times in academia, Mr. Palmer, even in the clinical world, most of the dissemination of the knowledge and the information is fed through a concept called the feminist theory lens. And basically what that posits is that, it's about female empowerment. It's about power. It's about gender equity. It's a concept called intersectionality. And then more or less basically give women credence as it relates to them being empowered. And more or less they talk about how men have more or less oppressed them. But listen, think about it, Mr. Palmer. You're a very intelligent brother. At the policy level, how many policies have Black men come together on a whole to more or less oppress ADOS women? How many policies have Black men created, to your knowledge, to oppress Black women?
None that I can call.
Right, none. Right, we haven't created any policies. At the meso level, when it comes down to the group, how many policies have we more or less initiated or enacted to oppress our women at the group level, as a group? How many? None, right. And so what they do, Mr. Palmer, they tend to feed the suffering and the pain of our women associated with these old archetypes that the Black men oppress women. We oppressed our women. Some call it the Mistering effect. And they do it as a way to more or less overgeneralize, Mr. Palmer, which is a thinking error, to assert or assume that all Black men were complicit in the abuse of our women. But watch this. When you think about domestic issues, Dr. T.S. Johnson talked about the bidirectionality of violence, and basically means that domestic abuse actually happens in both directions. It's not genderless. It's not one gender. It happens in both directions. Women tend to initiate it, men tend to finish it, according to a Harvard study. But what happens a lot of times, Mr. Palmer, when it comes down to the abuse or the mistering of the American male, especially the ADOS Black man, they tend to assert that all issues related to abuse were more or less impacted or more or less inflicted by black men. So they assume that anytime you hear the word abuse, they overgeneralize all black men as being complicit as physically abusing or abusing our women in general. And that's a very egregious myth. Domestic issues are not endemic to just black people. The same white man that would drink abuses women, the Indian, or whatever. It is human condition. It's the human condition. All human beings have been complicit in doing negative behavior. Just like Mr. Palmer, they talk about, but these black men getting our women pregnant and then running off. But listen, you're a smart man. There have been studies where in the past, a lot of these old women were having babies out on their husbands as well. I got family. Right. That when we found out, that some of the women were actually sleeping with men in the family. And so we always cast type the black man as the bad person, but we don't talk about the malfeasance of some of the women. Some of these women were having children by men down the street. Some of them were cousins, some of them were family members, but we don't talk about that. So anything with black is always bad. So this woman is basically have been liberally indoctrinated. It's what happens when you go to these liberal schools, even though I went to a great school, one of the best schools in the country, but it was liberal. And I respect my university, but I didn't agree with everything that they talked about or more or less transposed. Because by nature, most men, Mr. Palm, are very traditional. So it's a direct assault by more or less continue to have the victim mindset as it relates to black men and what we call in the clinical world heteronormative masculinity. And that's a fancy way of saying heterosexual men.
Oh, okay, very interesting. Well, I wasn't able to. I've been trying to find this Nicole Young information. I could not find it, but I actually found YouTube when I saw Angry Man post on his community. Mm-hmm. So this is her Twitter. Her name is Nicole Young. This is her right here. This is her. She says, I never tweet, but all of my friends do. Writer, educator, co-host of hashtag Kid Lit These Days. Enjoying my quiet little, I don't know that word, of the internet. So she pinned this magazine to the top, January 25th. And she said it's not just incels, mm-hmm. and it's not just hoteps. Mm-hmm. It's the Black Manosphere mm-hmm. wrote about it. Right. What you see on here say dominant masculinity, pair bonded, high value men, hypergamous. So we're gonna click on. Well, I ain't gonna click on the link. I want y'all to see the comments. I don't know. I hate what Twitter got on. Oh, that's the site. I'll get to the comments. Tweets and replies. Retweets. This is going to comment. Ain't showing well. I can see the comments. Here we go. All right. I want you to see some of these comments for yourselves. Let me make this a little bigger. This woman right here. Back up. She said, I'm horrified. I can't imagine spending hours on a Zoom date receiving this type of message from a black man. Those streets seem horrible. Now, this is some dude named Jeff Barbos. He's most likely Alphabet. He says this sounds structurally so much like Million Man March types who were all convinced and who convinced their wives and family that the man was the head of the household and that was God's and therefore the natural order. Yikes. I'm gonna read it one more time because I want y'all to see how they believe this bullshit. This is the Alphabet dude. He said this sounds structurally so much like the Million Man March. What was the problem with the Million Man March, y'all? I didn't say problem with the Million Man March. You actually had million men, majority black men, at the Million Man March, no crimes, no nothing, and it was great. And let me continue. Types who were all convinced and who convinced their wives and family that the man was head of the household and that was God's and therefore the natural order. So this dude must don't read the Bible, but I bet he's Christian. And then somebody even commented, I just said me and March types, huh? Because you know that was some bullshit. Now they go somebody else say they're astrologer, artist / illustrator. She said the scraggle daggle. This article reveals so much I sense, but couldn't quite put my fingers on. I have a question. Is the Black Manosphere an international space? Tia. Somebody else said, another woman said, well, this is terrifying. I just realized for the first time, thanks to this article, that I was dating someone who was part of this movement. How horrifying. It's the wildest thing when you encounter these messages from men, Ari or RL. That's how I knew this stuff was spreading dangerously. It's also being, what's that word, bro? Inculcated?
Right. If I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, inculcated. You're right. Inculcated. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Inculcated in teenage black boys too via social media and the fun, masculine pastime of trolling. I'm gonna read one more, then I'll go on to her article. A dude named Robot Tussle, look like I guess is a guy. They are black incels. That's it. That's all. Like, why is that the black community is now noticing this, how deranged this is? See, this what they think about people like us who speaks truth, facts, and and reality. But when you got somebody come with a judgment and assumption, this is what they put out, and people fall for it. But all these female content creators who tell you don't date a black man, go outside your race, get a white man. They tell you that being with a black man is whack and everything else. Broke, dusties. If you get pregnant by a black man, get an abortion, especially if it's a boy. But, y'all don't say nothing about them. No articles. I ain't seen no articles. Right. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen no articles. I ain't seen nobody from Elle do an article on that. And it's a little video clip I got from Bernard Roddy. He did it today. And I want y'all to hear just a little snippet of the interview that she had with Obsidian and made her shut her mouth. She couldn't say nothing. She actually changed the subject. This is why I don't take these black queer feminists seriously at all. I don't. So without further ado, I'm gonna let y'all check out the article. Make this bigger. Before I read it, what's your take on what you saw, brother, with the Twitter response? That was just 5. It's about 90, but what's your take on that?
Well, listen, it's not surprising. It's liberal indoctrination at its finest, Mr. Palmer. That's what it does. It more or less posits or more or less say that all people are of the same. Like you said, this woman took you and cast-typed you and put you in this big pocket of being associated with something, using shaming language, assuming that you're a part of a bigger conglomerate. But I was used to it when I was in university. It's this liberal dogma where they more or less follow a script as it relates to more or less men being men, men being toxic, and men being dangerous. And I won't be surprised at some point, Mr. Palmer, that they'll try to associate the men's spaces as hate speech. I won't be surprised in the future.
Oh yeah, 100%. The title is My Brush with the Black Manosphere. After an ill-fated Zoom date, I wandered down an online rabbit hole into masculine space for red pill black men. Okay. And the thing about it is, I don't even call myself red pill. And the reason why I don't say I'm red pill, because I realize as I learn more about I love the red pill. Shout out to y'all. That make you better as a man. I'm down for the cause. But if you was raised by your father, especially you up in your 40s, maybe 50s, you was raised by your father, the term red pill was already taught by your family, your uncles or whatever. I just didn't know that was the term of red pill. So, just revolve back around to red pill.
Right. And
that's why I'm like, shit, I was already learning that then, if that's the case, if that's the definition of a red pill. So that's why. But ain't no shade, disrespect, 'cause I love the red pill.
Mm-hmm.
Are seeing a life for what it is, and they're not putting themselves down that, like she said, the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me start what she said. She said, I believe women are hypergamous. And I mean, it's an observable fact. My date declared matter of factly as we stared at each other across the abyss of Zoom. I believe that's the interview with Obsidian, because I believe she also talked to Mad Bus Driver. Okay. About an hour later, when the evening started going downhill, I began writing down the words I didn't understand, but knew I heard before. So I added hypergamous to the list. His previous mentions of pair, bonded, high value men, and dominant masculinity all sounded what's that word, brother?
Hold tight, Palmer.
Are you
What's
doing
that?
Right here.
What's that? I can barely see it. What is it?
Make it bigger.
Yeah, make it bigger. Omnimously.
Familiar as well, Cottage Grove. At the end of my date, let's call him King. Okay, King. And I talked for nearly 3 hours. King explained that I was behaving like a masculine way when I invited him to meet me for a date instead of waiting for him to ask me. Claimed it was a biological fact that in any romantic relationship, someone who's cisgender and male, of course, needed to dominate the other. And feminism was a force that had only served to divide the black community and alienate black men. That's 100% fact.
Right.
The last part came after I revealed that I am a feminist. Something he told me was usually a complete non-starter for him. What's your take on the part when she said that what the brother said? I believe that's Obsidian, but it said that feminist was a force that only served to divide the black community and alienate black men. That's the shit that's going on today, ain't it?
Right. It is what's going on today, Mr. Palmer. And once again, I call it the great hoax. Listen, if you think about feminism, Mr. Palmer, in the context of women getting fair wages, I don't have a problem with that. First wave feminism was not as bad.
Not at all.
But this, first wave, second, but then third and fourth, and the fourth wave feminism is radical feminism, right, where not only does it say they demand things, but they're saying that they're superior to men. Right. And so black men, as I said earlier, never had the power, Mr. Palmer, to enact policies to more or less oppress anybody, because we were not making policy decisions as a whole at the executive level. We didn't have the power to do that. Black men and black women were mules of the same cause. But what happened, they talk about, like a lot of times during the civil rights movement, a lot of these women wanted to be part of the leadership, but they don't understand that if they say they were Christians, their role in their leadership really was just to follow and support their man, support him as he more or less tried to build a platform and build the community. But it's the same old negative socialization where they have been indoctrinated to see black men as something negative. But now it's good indoctrination, because now black men are beginning to wake up. All men are beginning to wake up.
Oh, yes, sir.
And see what their worth is. And like you said, keep the ice water cold in their veins, right, and changing the law of their mind. And many don't like it because we're beginning to wake up. Men are beginning to wake up, and they're beginning to demand what's right and demand what's best for them.
Right. And the thing about it is, once I saw that, when she said she was a feminist, I didn't take this article seriously at all.
Right.
Because I already knew that we was going to be thrown as the evildoers, the monsters, and the haters. This is why I tell people that the majority is not going to side with you men. And even some of you women who support this channel is not going to. They're not going to side with you. They're not going to roll with you. They're going to call you a pick me. Even though that's not, to me, not a true definition of a pygmy. They're going to call you sellouts and bamboos and self-haters and everything else, because when these queens are wrong, how dare you call it out? How dare you fight for your rights? How dare you put them in a place? Because if you do that, then they call white supremacy, the police, the same one that killed George Floyd and Walter Scott and everybody else, but them the same ones that are called on you. So let's continue. It was like the trolls I saw skulking around the edge of Black Twitter had jumped up from under the Technicolor bridges and wandered directly into my dating life. The sirens clanging in my head throughout this entire ordeal bleated out one word over and over again. And you want to know what that word was? Incel.
Incel, right.
Do y'all know what an incel is? Do y'all here know what an incel is? Coach Knish, you know what an incel is?
Yeah, it's an involuntary celibate. Somebody that don't want to be celibate, but they have to be because they can't have sex.
Right. So what comes to her mindset of black manosphere or black man speaking up is incel. So a lot of you dudes who are married, I ain't gonna say a lot because a lot of y'all say hell no. Okay. Some of y'all dudes is married, and some of y'all dudes is living a frigid lifestyle, and a lot of y'all that's MGTOW who have the peace sleeve from time to time. She's calling you incel because you support this quote unquote evil rhetoric on social media and outside of social media. But yeah, that's what an incel is, y'all. For those that don't know, maybe some of the women don't know. But she's thinking about incel. Okay. For months, I have seen similar words and things being used on social media. On Twitter, men that wield a particular animus against black women are sometimes derogatively called nig cells. Yeah, women call us nig cells. I don't know what that means. It's like I don't understand how they call the real black women pygmies.
Well, it's a nig cell is just it's like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's the black version of it.
Calling you
Right.
Right. Shuffling, you Sambo and all. I know what it is, but I'm just saying how they create. Anything we do, they want to sit back and take from us because black women weren't able to create a goddamn thing. And I'm gonna be real. Who built this country?
Right.
Black men that built
this country. Right.
Not you. And that's the truth. You getting your feelings and say, nah, that wasn't true, none of that shit. No, it was black men. So that and on that note, I'll let my man speak. Truth is what it is. All right. So I had to find out how the language of chads and hypergamy, both terms are associated with white men on the internet. The latter claim that women only date men of higher social status have mapped out onto the world of black men. Now, according to Aaron Fountain Aaron Fountain Jr., a PhD candidate for Indiana University, is less about incels in the case of black men than the black manosphere. A more radically diverse space on the internet that includes men of all ages and has developed its own offshoot, the black manosphere. Within the black manosphere's fiefdom, there are many subgroups, rival influencers, competing philosophies, and myriad content creators, but each of them contain one common thread: a concerted, explicit disdain for black women. And even this bullshit is a goddamn lie. Now, some of y'all know about Aaron Fountain, but he's a PhD, and he has, from what I know, has issue with the black manosphere. I don't take him seriously at all.
Right.
Now, for those who do, that's on you. That's your opinion. You entitled to it, but I don't fuck with him. But she talked to him, and even I don't know if he said this or this her thought from whatever conversation she had with this, that one thing we have in common, that the disdain for black women. And that's the thing. When it comes to my platform, I don't just talk about black women. Now, of course, I'm a black man, so yeah, I talk about black women, but I talk about white, Latino, Chinese, and it don't make a difference. A baby mama Ted's come in all forms. See, that's what I say. These people don't know shit, but they tend to just assume with assumptions. They try to put you in one box. They put you in one bowl. Right. That's one of the reasons why I say I'm not part of Black Manosphere, because I'm about changing the laws in our mind as men. When it comes to this court system, it's not just black men. It's all men going through this shit. Right, so that's why, one of the reasons why I don't consider myself Black Manosphere, but I love a lot of the people in the Black Manosphere. A lot of things they put out is real shit.
Right.
I don't agree with everything, just like I don't agree with everything I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for you to sit back and say that there are disdain for black women is a lie. My mama black. Well, my mama was black.
Right.
Come on, man. My mom wasn't a baby mama test. She wasn't a feminist. She knew her role.
Right.
That ain't where I come from. But as you see, anybody that associate themselves with the Black Manosphere or shit like that, they say we all, even though we hate each other and rival influencers and subgroups, we have a disdain for black women, and that's a lie. What's your take on that, though? Before we can that she said we all got to sustain black women, because you got your own platform and you a licensed therapist and you deal with men and women, but you most
Right.
come out men because we the one with the issues mentally
Right.
and so on. So what's your take on that?
Well, it's a thinking error, Mr. Palmer. It's something called overgeneralization, where they overgeneralize the broader populace of black men and tend to associate anything with black men as something negative and bad. Also, it's the minimization of the pain of black men in general. Minimization is a thinking error as well. They minimize the suffering of black men and they magnify their own trauma associated with the past. So it's a combination of thinking errors, man, that is more or less tied to vitriol that's not beneficial to the greater collective of black men and black women together, or the American men and women, white or black. It's not even a black man thing. It's an American man thing with white men and black men being involved together. Right. And so it's thinking errors. It's a thinking error that's not more or less substantiated in any true fact. And so what happened with thinking errors, Mr. Palmer, when they go unmet, it become a condition that we call in the clinical world something called cognitive dissonance, where they can't hear. And, and I created an acronym, I think we talked about in the past on your channel, called DEAF. And cognitive dissonance is based on DEAF, when they deny the evidence when you present it to them. Yeah. They become enraged when you present them with the evidence, Mr. Palmer. They will argue through ad hominem attacks, meaning they will attack the messenger instead of the message itself, and they will fight you or they leave you alone because of fear. And so it's thinking errors. And many refuse to get the help because they don't see nothing wrong, but that's all the byproduct of brainwashing, in my opinion, and also liberal indoctrination.
Facts, brainwash. But if you go back to what I showed you on the Twitter, where that Alphabet dude said that they compared us to the Million Man March and said that y'all really think that men are supposed to lead a household, and God was intended for that way, and it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible, y'all. It's in all the good books. And yet, you got some alphabet tell you that that's false. Mm-hmm. You can't make this shit up. Well, let's finish, because we're going to get to the good part when it comes to me. Said, in all parts of the Manosphere, men talk about taking a red pill. A matrix reference that indicates that they have woken up to the purported truth about women. It's not just about the truth about women, just the truth about life, about our society. And truth is what it is. But they assume it's just about women. And yes, a lot of men have taken the red pill and learned the hard way. And some took the red pill and say, hey, I'm not going through this again. And again, I tell y'all, if that's something you got to do to get your mindset as a man, to change the laws of your mind, then goddamn it, take all them pills. I have no problem with that. See? But when it's all said and done, whatever you're doing, it's still about changing the laws of your mind, because if your mind ain't there to change, then you will never change.
Right. And you know what, Mr. Palmer, what you're talking about, man, is powerful. When you say change, that is a powerful phrase. You're talking about from the legal aspect, but in the clinical world, we call it cognitive restructuring. And you do have to change the law in your mind if you want to more or less erase what you thought was right. Many times, Mr. Palmer, men become arrested in their thinking because they have been conditioned to think one way. But thinking errors come when you make some bigger than what it really is. So I love that change the law of your mind. That is a powerful phrase, man. It's very powerful. I love that, man.
That is real. I appreciate it, my brother. Shit. And also, she said in some corners of the Black Manosphere. Hey, don't this sound like what she talk like some street gang? In the corners over here on 8 Cottage Grove, the Black Manosphere. Men grumble about very popular YouTuber Kevin Samuels and his ilk because Samuels allowed black women he berates on his show to speak at all. Now, here's the thing about Kevin Samuels, and I say this all the time. A lot of you, these simp enforcers, because also simp enforcers, you black pros, you fake spiritual motherfuckers will actually say y'all have issues on how Kevin Samuels talks shit on his platform to women when they come on the platform. But guess what? These women made a choice to come on this platform. He ain't no gun in nobody's head to force you to come on there and tell everybody that I got 5 kids, I'm 45, I got a degree, and I want a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make this shit up. And because he tell you that, hey, you it ain't looking good. You hit the wall already. I doubt if you get you a high value man at this point. I doubt it. How tall are you? You 5'2" and you weigh 350. I don't think you're gonna get what you're looking for. So I think you better lower your standards, because the reality is you're not gonna get that. Now, how's that berating women when they're asking him how can they get that special guy, because they want to get married.
Right.
At least they say they do, but in my opinion, a lot of them are baby mama tends to need attention, and they want to try to get up in his pants, and it ain't never gonna happen. Father, I can find no better. That's just my opinion. They want attention. These baby mama tends want so much attention, they willing to make themselves like fools, dummies, and everything else. But as long as they get to be on that show. What's your take on that, brother?
Oh, I agree with you. I think a lot of it is attention. I think this latest pandemic has caused a lot of women to be in a state of loneliness. It's caused them to more or less strive to introspect. Some of them are introspecting for the good because, some say the Kevin Samuels show has impacted them in a positive way.
Right.
Some do say they don't like his delivery. Well, I'm not here to more or less necessarily debate his delivery. I mean, Kevin is Kevin. But just looking at the facts for what it is, he brings forth some very quality points. You don't have to agree 100% of what he believes in, just like he might not agree 100% what I believe in. But you can't deny the fact that many things he's talking about is true under the certain umbrella if you're talking about whether you call it a high-value man or high-earning man or whatever. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think attention is definitely an issue. This latest pandemic more or less played a role in women realizing how vulnerable that they are and the need for them to get a quality man. But here's a caveat to that, Mr. Palmer. Do they want a man for the sake of coming to a relationship to serve him and trying to strive to be a traditional woman? Or are they doing it out of fear and using that man as a piggyback to help them in that deficit, whether it be protection or also financial stability? That's the question.
That is the question. Shout out to you, brother. And you know what? Sado made a good point. He said, I disagree. I think they are serious. The whole world is seeing what black men have to deal with now. I agree with you on that point. And you know what? If that's the case, then they even sadder than I thought. They sadder than I thought, because you ran the black man. I'm just going to talk about the black man. You ran the black man out the house for government welfare, and you ran him out for all the government daddy's handouts. You didn't need them. If y'all notice, let's be real. Black women are taught to be independent. Hispanics and everybody else are taught to be traditional. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. But now you seeing that they are great black men. They are good black men. That you was going to the wrong neighborhood. You was going to the wrong people. You was going along to get along. You listen to what your mama told you. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, I'm gonna let Denzel speak for Malcolm X.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
So now you come on Kevin Samuels shows and other people's shows, but mainly Kevin Samuels, because y'all want to be married and you want a good man, a high value man. And he's telling some of y'all that it's too late, or you're not ready yet. You need to get therapy. You still got issues.
Right.
Why don't you let the child go with the father then, if you want a high value man? And they come out and tell you, well, no, I ain't doing that because that's my baby and that's my child and all that shit. Then you get mad that he calls that shit out, and you call that berate. How's it berate when it's the truth? Mm-hmm. But I know why.
You can't handle the truth.
Can't handle the truth, right?
Can't handle the truth. So let's get to the good part. In his lane, which is talking about me. In his lane, me. I am in my own lane. So she right about that. Influencer Mr. Palmer has coined the term baby mama terrorist, or BMT. And his followers sport fuck child support hats. So that's what she said about me. She says, don't think I agree with, I am in my own lane. But she said I coined the term baby mama terrorist, or BMT. And she said that he and his followers sport fuck child support hat. She didn't talk about the videos that I show where mothers are killing their 6-year-olds because he's on punish. He did something wrong and she threw him in the shower, and she murders him and then take him from North Chicago and take him all the way to Gary, Indiana. She don't talk about the stats where I show that mothers are more abusive and neglectful and cause more fatalities on children than fathers. She did not talk about the one-on-ones that I had with fathers who lost their livelihood because it was alienated by baby mama terrorists, and also about how this $51 billion profit that government daddy receives every year on child support. She don't talk about that. She talk about me wearing my hat, and she talk about me calling a baby mama terrorist. She don't talk about the women that come on here and tell you that, yeah, I was a baby mama terrorist, or, you know, none of this shit. CDC, stats, anything. She says that I say baby mama terrorist, BMT, and I rock the hat and everybody else rocking with me. You just can't make this shit up. What's your take on that, brother?
Well, listen, you know, in clinical therapy, Mr. Palmer, there's a concept called needs drive behaviors. And when a man is not getting his needs met, then it more or less turns to outcomes. There was a psychoanalytic theorist by the name of Dr. William Glasser, and basically what Dr. Glasser said was this: when people don't get their needs met, they can have choices that can be not beneficial to them. And choice theory was based on power, freedom, fun, survival, and belonging. And so when you look at the greater American kaleidoscope as it relates to black men, many black men are saying they're not getting their needs met. And so when they're not getting those elemental principles of freedom, power, fun, love, and survival, then they do one or two things. They either jump out of the society, or they turn within and become indifferent. And so the greatest antithesis to hate is indifference. And it appears that many men are becoming indifferent, Mr. Palmer, because many have not more or less begun to listen to what men want. And now the conversation is getting out because we're beginning to see, you know, the chickens have come home to roost, and many don't like it, man.
Uh-oh. Shout out to Perfect Blackness. I got to speak on this because he also write articles and stuff. Mm-hmm. He said in 2020, I wrote an article over Medium responding to Mr. Fountain. Check it out. There's a link right there. Please definitely check it out. He definitely is a good writer. I have seen a couple of his writing and shit. Shout out to Perfect Blackness from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? On that note, you know, which Christmas, she just said, I gotta let my man Clifford Burns go ahead and speak his piece. He's something to laugh about.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in a post office box because I don't want people bothering me anymore.
See, and that, because this the shit that she said about, you know, that quick line about me is very funny. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. At first, I reached out to her on Instagram, and I said, you know, why don't you do an interview with me? But then after I watched Coach Greg Adams, I went back and deleted that shit. And I'm gonna tell you why. Mm-hmm. And he was right. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. The majority, remember I told y'all this, the majority is not gonna side with you. The majority is gonna say you low life, you deadbeat, you don't want to be a father, pay your child support and shut your mouth. One of the reasons why this guy in this magazine, because she supports child support. Not because I'm a big YouTuber and all that shit, you know, people go off these numbers. And she knows that these piece of shit women that I call baby mama terrorists, most of them are feminists. Another thing is, if you got a man hollering fuck child support and putting out the facts and the CDCs and the information on government daddy and Title 4D and so on, what you think that's gonna happen to these baby mama terrorists and the government? Mm-hmm. They're gonna lose money. See, now I'm going into the baby mama terrorist collection play, which is child support. So that's why I was in that magazine, because fuck child support. What average guys really going around talking about fuck child support and put it out there for the world to see and don't give a fuck? So that's why I believe I was in this. And then the term baby mama terrorist, I'm calling you motherfuckers baby mama terrorists. But the unfortunate thing, she says baby mama terrorists, then I'm talking about just black women. No, I'm not just talking about black women. I'm talking about any woman who alienates the father out the picture, a fair relationship and divorce, and that manipulates the child, harms the child mentally, physically, however. And again, I have to say, when you see that term fuck child support and you see men wearing fuck child support or saying baby mama terror and shit like that, they don't like that because more men are starting to say, I don't even want to have no kids. Well, I don't want to date these type of women. I don't even want to date no American one. I'm going overseas, or I'm go ahead and take the red pill because I don't want to go through what perfect blackness went through. See, so now I'm going to their collection plate, and now they're losing money because most men are now in the black community. 53% of men are now having kids and they're not even being married.
Right.
So, that's just in the black community. We don't know about the white community. I'm sure the white man they've been doing it before we started all this. We laying the game to every fucking thing. If y'all want the truth, so you can imagine why a lot of women, piece of shit ass women, are definitely offended and hurt and mad. So what they do, they use the shame tactics. Oh, you hate women, deadbeat, your mom black, and so on. But you know how I feel about that.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Not at all. You know, so that's just my opinion on why this baby mama tells a fuck child support, because a lot of people are starting to say that. Even people that don't even have kids, women who dealt with the bullshit are saying the same thing. Fuck child support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's your take, brother?
Well, I think what you're doing is brilliant. You know, they don't look at the reason why you're saying blank child support. You're saying it for a reason. You're not saying F child support because you hate women or whatever. You're saying hate child support, F child support, because you know what child support is doing to men, and you realize that the family court system is very unjust and it's not fair. You know, there have been men that don't have jobs, and the men that don't have jobs themselves are still expected to pay child support. But for some reason, people think men don't want to take care of their kids, and they do want to take care of them. But child support has been used, what some would call a very draconian measure, to more or less solicit money from people. And many times they're not considering the emotional health and the emotional wellness of the man. They're just saying, get that money by any means necessary, which makes that man a slave to the state. And so when it comes down to the rights of men, we don't care about men suffering in silence. We don't care about male suicide. We don't care about men financial losses. We don't care about men sleeping on the streets. But we do care about women and children. So in essence, what it does, that makes a man become what's called a commodity to be subjugated. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson called it the concuserve. I came up with my own term called the commodification of subjugation. And it basically means that a man is a commodity to be subjugated by her own selfish desires. And what's happening there, a lot of men are tired of it. So, you know, I started Mr. Palmer on my YouTube channel, The Kosher Clinician. Another part of it is the Manhood Chronicles. And a lot of things that you talk about actually parrot what I tell men about men living their lives on their own terms, men sharing their stories and sharing their pains, because many times, even the therapeutic framework, Mr. Palmer, they really don't talk about male empowerment. The man is always seen as the bad guy. He's always seen as the bully. And Dr. Helen Smith even wrote a book, Mr. Palmer, called Men on Strike. She's a white contemporary. Susan Vanker, she's another white contemporary that talks about the injustices that many men are going through. But many women like this, Mr. Palmer, in academia, they're shunned. They shun any woman that's pro-man. They're shunned them in academia. And some of these women were probably first and second world feminists. But they're not radical feminists, and many have actually changed their ideologies altogether.
True. You have some that's no longer feminist. I want to give a shout out to Gail at Night, the lovely Gail at Night. She says, women have weaponized the child support system, and most men in that system don't belong there. They're only there due to bitter women, 100%. 100%. And that's what I'm saying. So what I'm doing, I'm teaching men that this can happen to you. I'm teaching men that the laws is not going to change. We can fight, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. You can try to change the laws and fight for your rights, but I'm letting you know this could happen to you if you get in this predicament. This been going on for a long time. This ain't nothing that just happened yesterday. And people don't talk about it because they scared to be shamed, shunned, looked upon.
Right.
That's why I use my man.
Bitch, fuck all y'all.
and continue to do what I do, because I really don't give a fuck about what you think. I don't give no fuck about people that's in this space that say, yeah, well, he talk about him too explicit and all that. Nah, fuck that. If you don't like what I say, don't come on my platform. And don't even watch it. Block and move on. That's why I said I don't give a fuck about the majority, because the majority is not going to side with us. But that's why when I sent her that message, I deleted that shit. I'm not going to talk to you, because you're going to put your own interpretation anyway, even if I show you the proof and everything. The majority is not going to, even if you show the logistics and everything else, they still going to put what they want on they media shit. They're going to put it with their magazine. They're going to put it with their news media. I'm not finna entertain you and waste my time. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Keep your veins cold, men and women, and do what you got to do, and don't entertain the rhetoric. I'm not finna even talk to you, because I delete that. I'm like, I don't want to interview your motherfucking ass. For what?
Right. Because she will take what you've done, Mr. Palmer, and spin it. Just like when men start going to these mainstream platforms, they're going to always change the narrative of what you're saying to make it look like you're a terrible person. That's why I don't think big name people should ever go into mainstream, because it's very liberal. And so I agree with you 100%, man. I agree with you 100%.
But I was gonna do it. I was like, man, I was like, man, because she don't know what she talking about when it comes to me, get to know me. I'm like, what the fuck I gotta explain to you for? If you think I'm like that, so be it. You know what I'm saying? But watch my videos and watch my platform, what I put out there, and then you tell me that later. But you know what? That's why I say, even if they don't believe in you, they don't like you, because again, it's going into their collection plate. There's a lot of these fuck niggas that don't like me because they don't want to affect their collection plate. That's why I say a lot of these dudes ain't got no integrity. That's why I just stay in my lane. Like she said, I agree with that, in his lane. Yep, damn right. And just like my man Rogue said, 1999, shout out to you, brother. He said, I saw my dad get raped through the courts by the courts. I decided to wait until my next life to have kids. Having kids in America is extremely high risk. And that's all I'm trying to tell y'all. Shout out to you, my brother. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all, because you can get with a woman, get married, do it the right way, and then out a couple of years, and she ain't working, you take care of the house, you being the good man and everything else, and then one day out of nowhere, she's filing for divorce. And then she's filing for sole custody. She's filing for alimony. And this pussy-ass judge will grant it to her. And then she still expects you, after you pay that $1,500 a month, to still give a half on everything else. But yet, they say that men are bitching, men are whining, you just don't want to take care of your kids, you're a deadbeat and everything and so on. That's why I say it again. Shout out to Reverend X.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
That's why I'm going to continue to do it how I do it and put it out there and let y'all know, so y'all have a mind frame to say, shit, I better change laws in my mind and not even deal with these type, or get in a relationship if you choose to, or want to marry somebody, you ask them these deep questions. Do you believe in child support? Do you believe in feminism? Do you believe in being submissive? Do you believe in X, Y, Z? And believe me, that's going to shock them. And even if they say, no, I don't believe in all that, you'll look them in their face and know exactly. I asked tell all this like my daddy told me. Find out the family, find out the mother. Is she a single mother that ran the daddy out the house, or is she the father there and she still run the house? You need to find out all that shit, because this right here will save you from being 18 years or 21 years of a bad investment. So like I said, 2022, no L's. So if anybody got issues about my term baby mama tears and fuck child support and talking about these baby mama tears whores, then hey, don't watch my shit. Y'all want to be affiliated with your bitch ass either. I ain't got no problem with that. Keep doing me. Shout out to Big Mike, dropped the 999. He said, what up to the court? Congratulations, bro. You're taking the message to the mainstream's neck. Let's go. Shout out to you, my brother. But yes, and this Big Mike drop. YouTube, subscribe to him. Coach Condition is pinned to the top. Definitely subscribe to him. Now, this is the surprising one that I saw when they talked about Dr. Sean Thunder. That's Dr. Thunder, y'all, Wallace. A tenured professor at the Ohio State University, is an influencer whose work teeters at the edge of the manosphere. Now, he at the edge. See, I'm on the corner. He's at the edge. So he's right there before he fall off, I guess. Beckoning in black men who might want to explore further. So, Dr. Thunder, out of all people's in the black sector, you got him in here on the corner. No, not the corner. She got him on the edge of the manosphere. And I guess he's another brother, since he's a professor at Ohio State University. Oh, he's definitely another one that one of the great women and all that shit. And he's a married man and everything. What do you think about that? Because when I saw his name, I said, out of all names, his name shouldn't have been in here.
Well, basically, it sounds like to me like a passive aggressive threat, trying to expose him. Yeah, because you didn't have to put the man's information in, and that's what they do many times. Many times in academia, Mr. Palmer, anything that's synonymous with male empowerment or empowering black men. If you're a tenured professor, you have to be very careful. But not tenured, but if you're a professor, you have to be very careful, because you can be more or less be isolated from your colleagues. Because you got to understand with academia. academia follows what's called a rail. I call it rail thinking. If you get off that rail, then you're no longer part of the masses. They don't more or less, in my mind, in my opinion, encourage critical thinking, but also independent thinking, because it's all based on a philosophy or a dogma. So it's like she's trying to mess him up, man. You're trying to attack this man's livelihood, man.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's the point I want to put out there, y'all. Y'all know who Dr. Thunder is. Y'all know how he talk on his platform. He don't curse. He don't disrespect women. He talks real. He give you be a man to have option. He still tells men to get married. So for her to put him in there, but like you said, a tenured professor at Ohio State. So that's, I ain't gonna say a snitch, but what I'm saying, she's trying to expose where he worked, who he is. He's part of this evil duo that hate black women. He's on the edge of the manosphere. So he's affiliated. So that, like you said, that will lead teachers and staff, whoever, to come at him and say, "Oh, you put let's watch his YouTube a little more." Right.
And basically, it's a form of cultural Marxism, where you know, in Marxist organizations, they're trying to silence you if you think outside what they're trying to tell you to do. And many of these universities are byproducts of Marxism. It's Marxism, where you think the way people expect you to think.
Right. And it's unfortunate that you try to stain another black man's name, trying to put him in some false narrative about hating women and black women and everything else. That's why I say you can't make this shit up. So no, I wouldn't dare have no type of dialogue. I don't care if you put the truth out there. No, I'm not entertaining none of these motherfuckers. If you don't like what I talk about, you want to debate me, pay me. I'm not even waste my time talking. Right. I always have that thought process of you just hate women and your mama black. I want to give a shout out to Jay Flo for the $5 donation, my Latino brother. He said, Mr. Palmer, your message need to be heard by men of all shades, 100%. We appreciate all you do. Will you be selling your old couch now that you're famous? Nah. Nah, G. Nah, I'm still a deadbeat broke nigga off Cottage Grove and Couch Gang. That's all. Shout out to Nice sometimes for the 1999. He said, keep doing God's work. Showing love from Cali. Shout out to Cali, man, and shout out to you, my brother. Now, that's what I'm saying. See how they try to stain another brother's name, just putting a name in his profession and all that shit? You can't pick this shit up.
Right.
You know, let's continue. Now, I didn't know nothing about Mad Bus Driver. I went on subscribe to him. I did not know he was the one that created Save Yourself Black Men. He did say that he's not part of the Black Manosphere, you know, but because his process on why he do it is not affiliated with Black Manosphere and so on. I'm going to read, because I think she had a conversation with him through email. Okay, yes, she did. The content creator, Mad Bus Driver X1, MBD for short, who films his YouTube videos wearing a helmet, will only consent to being interviewed over email. He's a founder of Save Yourself Black Men, or SYSBM community, but insists the group is not part of the Black Manosphere, claiming that space has different goals and objectives than SYSBM. I believe when he talk about, I think he say don't marry no black woman or marry a black American woman. I believe that's just my thoughts when it comes to Save Yourself Black Men, because a lot of people in my platform says it, and I agree, save yourself. And a lot of y'all do say, hey, no, I ain't marry no black woman. I go outside another country or marry outside my race. And either way, you had it right. I have no issues with it at all. Whatever makes you better as a man, to not get caught in dumb shit and bullshit, I have no problem with it. So that's just my assumption.
Right. I agree. I agree with you.
No, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I think men or women have the right to live their lives on their own terms.
Women,
I
don't care. You want to marry a white man, a Japanese, do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do, right.
Just leave it. So I don't get in my feelings when people like Sister G say marry a white dude or go out, don't get with no black man. Good. That means I ain't got to move away from your funky ass. You move and go about your business. I have no problem with that. So also, he says in his videos, he spends hours describing the ills of black women, the deterioration of the black race, and that's true, the importance of travel for black men. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And the virtues of dating and marrying anyone but American black women. I was right. Okay. So yeah, his Save Yourself Black Men say don't date American black women. He didn't say no date no black woman. He said don't date black American women. And a lot of y'all will say why? Well, the stats shows it. The video shows it. Society shows it. And what's sad is, again, I'd say again, most black women are raised by baby mama terrorists, they are taught to be independent. You don't need no man. Look like I did. I kicked your daddy out the picture, and we doing good, sir. So now you got men that say, okay, well, I see that you kicked my daddy out, and I see that you kicked my brother. His wife put him out, everything, and I'm gonna be 21. Why should I date a black woman? I don't want to be like my daddy and my brother. And because he say that, now all of a sudden he's a hater, he's a sellout, he's a coon, he's against black women. No, he don't want to be in that type of situation that his fathers and forefathers and everybody else went through. So you protecting yourself, man, just means that you hate black women. If that's the case, then I hate all the motherfuckers. Shame on me once, but I'll be damned if I go through it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Shit.
Right.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let my man for the wife speak his piece. Shit. No, fuck that. What's your thought on that, brother, when he say travel for black men and marry outside, marry anyone but black American women? What's your take on that?
Well, listen, I don't believe you should say 100% that all black women are not wife worthy. I don't necessarily.
That'd be right.
I don't necessarily believe that, but I think what he's saying in general, and I understand what the brother's saying. And I agree with him. In general, what he's saying, he think the odds are not in your favor when you're dealing with American black women. That's what he's trying to say.
Right.
But I'm not going to overgeneralize and say 100% of every black woman in America is not worthy of marriage. I'm not going to say that.
Brother, that's like me saying
Right.
all black fathers are good fathers, or all black men are fathers that want to be fathers. Nah, you got some black dudes that didn't want to be a father but planned them kids. Come on, I'll be alive to sit back and say,
right,
black women are bad, all single mothers are baby mama terrorists, all white women are haters. I'll be alive, but the majority of you motherfuckers are. That's
right. And most people, as they do it, Mr. Palmer, based on the average, they say if it's more than 50%, then they say then you shouldn't do it.
Why chance? Yeah, if it's more than 50%, why chance?
Why chance it? Right.
Why chance it? I had no problem with that. Mm-hmm. And he also said in one video titled "Protect Your Seed, Black Men." I don't know who started that, but a lot of people say "Protect Your Seed, Black Men." I don't know if he started it or whoever. I want to know who created that, because that I've been using it too. Protect your seeds, men, black men, all. Latino, everybody need to protect their seeds. But he say protect your seeds, black men. Invest into a white, Asian, or Latina. That's what he says. MBD's language veers close to eugenics, as he addresses the black men listening, saying, there's going to be 2 types of black people in the future. And one's going to be blackish and one's going to be traditionally black. The permanent underclass, what that's going to be. No disrespect. If you're a black man who needs to save himself, go on ahead. Because you can't save it. It's ingrained. You got to let the black race die out, because they don't want to change.
Right.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Right. Listen.
Die out.
Right. I agree with that, Mr. Palmer. But you said something earlier that was very powerful, Mr. Palmer. But when we talk about eugenics, and eugenics is the annihilation of a race or ethnic group. But we don't say anything to the Cynthia G's and the Chris Logics when they talk about, exiting black babies or black boys. We don't say anything about since the 70s, the millions of babies that have been exited out. We don't talk about that. So that more or less shows the cognitive dissonance once again, and the hypocrisy, or what we call the selective outrage, because it's selective outrage to juxtapose what this man said, but you don't look at the greater kaleidoscope when the Chris Lodges, the Cynthia G's, and also, since the 70s, all these babies have been exited due to liberal policy, because Margaret Sanger is the one that started this foolishness. And imagine, Mr. Palmer, if all those kids had been born today, boys and little girls and boys, the 10% of the black infrastructure that we have now probably been at 20, damn near 30 or 40%. You would have a more black upper class, or more or less a black population. But we don't talk about that. We're very silent and selective in our outrage when it comes down to looking at both sides fairly. And I have a problem with that.
I think me and you need to do a talk about abortions. One day, talk about that, because they always talk about black men abusive and want to kill our kids. And I believe in the black community, they aborted about 60 million, or was it 20?
Well, it was I think over 20. I believe.
Over 20 million. I don't want to be wrong. That's what I say.
Right. Over 20,
Yeah,
I think.
that's a lot. They said since what? Since it was more than the World War?
Right.
World War I or II? I mean, that's what I'm saying. But you talk about us, the evildoers, you can't make this shit up. I want to give a shout out to Dallas D for the $20 donation. She said, you are entitled to live the life you can afford. 100% facts. 100% facts. So let me see what else. No. Okay, now we agree with change. Okay. When asked if this use of eugenics language was intentional or if he was at all concerned about the historic weaponization of eugenics language against black men and women, MBD responded that Save Yourself Black Men is about freedom for black men rooted in their ability to choose better for themselves. 100% facts. And that's, again, part of changing the laws in your mind. All right. Wow. YSBM's philosophy is deeply alarming. Its foundation, she says, deeply alarming. Its foundation, the perception of black people and pathologically violent, lazy, and unintelligent is hardly new. The language of black respectability and the betterment of the black race has existed for generations. Its most prominent proponents range from the scholar W.E.B. Du Bois to pop culture figures like Bill Cosby. The Black Manosphere is fueled by this presumed cultural deficiency and shades of black responsibility politics. According to Fountain, the 1965 The Negro Family, the case for national action, and regularly quoted text in the Black Manosphere, often referred to as the, what's that word, man?
Hold tight. Let me see. Where's that poem? Where's that, bro?
Right here.
The Moynihan Report.
Moynihan Report.
Yes, sir.
And commissioned by then President Johnson, this report has for decades created
Pseudo-anthropological argument.
Argument claiming that black people and their culture were at fault for their own second-class citizenship in America. I agree with that. I agree with that to a certain extent because when that WIC and this link cards and government daddy handouts in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, that right there fucked up our family black structure. Because, see, again, I have to tell y'all, child support was for the married white woman. And the reason why I tell y'all this, black men and women was married at 85, 90% family rate, with the family traditional structure. It didn't change until the government handouts came in. Kevin Samuel speak on this, and Coach Greg Adams, I speak on this. And who were the one that was getting it? It was black women. And they created this, and they enjoyed it. They loved it. And they continue on for generations and generation after generations. But yet you tell me that I'm here to berate black women when black women is the ones, majority, that fucked up our black community. Let's continue. If you're wondering how a 60-year-old off the bunk government report holds so much weight among some black men whom it also seems to disparage, the answer seems to be, in part, its enduring place in white conservative talking points about black families and communities. Do you agree with that?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
She said that, I'll read it again. If you were wondering how a 60-year-old off the bunk government reports hold so much weight among some black men whom it also seems to disparage, the answer to be, in part, its enduring place in white conservative talking points about black families and communities. Do you agree with that? That is coming from white conservative talking points?
Well, listen, all traditionalism is conservative, whether it's black or white. Traditionalism doesn't have a color, man.
That's what I thought.
Men in general is traditional. So I don't know what she mean by that. But the Moynihan Report definitely has some good credence. Like I said, Mr. Palmer, it's a war between conservative thought in academia and liberal thought. Conservative thought is actually many times pushed aside for the exoneration of liberal thought. So, anytime a woman talk what I don't take liberal scholars, I don't take them serious because they have a way of thinking that's not beneficial to the greater collective as it relates to our families or communities. The Moynihan report played a very vital role in my mind. Now, perhaps I need to go back and read it and break down what they're talking about. I've heard of the study, but I heard Dr. T.S. Johnson talking about it, BGS. He talked about it a couple of times. And I think it's open for interpretation. You know, you got to do your research on it. But it's, in my mind, I think it's a very good piece. She says pseudo-anthropological, and pseudo means false, and anthropological means the study of man. But I don't think it's necessarily false anthropology. I think it has a lot of clarity and credence. But you got to understand they're real thinkers, so they're going to see things from their own lens. And it's like oil and water. The liberal and conservative, it just don't mix. That's why you can never talk to them, because from a philosophical perspective, as basic core level, it's just not the same.
Oh, okay. I agree. But that's what I say. That's why I asked you, because I'm like, you talking about it's coming from the white conservative talking points. That's why I say they show like talking about the white people. I tell you that. They show do. Even
if it is going to come from conservative, there are a lot of black men that are conservative. A lot of black men voted for Trump, they didn't vote for Trump because they agree with Trump the man, but they like some of his policies that relate to the black family and the black community. And just like a lot of them voted for liberalism, you know, I think over 90%, I'm sure, voted for democratic policies. So it lets you know that our men and women are not on the same page, man. We're definitely not on the same page.
And it's been like that for a long time.
It's been like that for a long time.
Yes, sir. I want to give a shout out to Supreme 10 for the $20 donation. He said, change the laws of your mind at all times. This brother right here do not have no children. He's not married, but he damn sure support this platform because he know and he's seen men go through it. He might have seen it. I don't know about his father, but he might have seen his father go through it. That's what I'm telling you. This platform is not just for men who've been there, done that, or currently going through. This for men who don't have kids, who's kind of lost. They need an avenue to learn something so they don't get caught up like us, like we did or we have. It ain't just guys who just been on child support and all that, or had a baby mama terrorist. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers here that don't have them problems, but they know that us as men need to talk about this because we don't want to see other black men, white men, Latino men, and so on to go through the same bullshit. Shout out to this brother Supreme 10. So yes, let's change what we got. But even more critically for the Black Manosphere, what is it called? The Moynihan report places the responsibility for stated black pathology squarely on the shoulders of black women. It was the Moynihan report that propelled generations of ire towards black women-led households and served as the basis for the Reagan-era black welfare queen stereotype. Is that a lie? Black women did lead a household. Black women run a community to this day. That's why the black community is fucked up to this day. You want to wild boys out there gang banging, thugging, and dropping out of school on drugs just in the black community, and y'all talk about, well, it's the father's fault, but who been having custody of our boys and even our girls for the last 50, 60, and possibly 70 years. So that's what I'm saying. This shit, they acting like this shit is a lie. It's not true. Mm-hmm. Black women do lead a household. They X the man out the picture. Mm-hmm. Or they have kids. What you call them? Dirty Dick Rodney. You have kids with Dirty Dick Rodney who has like 20 kids in the neighborhood, and you wonder why there's no good black men around.
Right.
You blame us.
Right.
You blame me that have one child or married and good career. You compare us to them. Right.
They tend to equivocate 100% of all black men to the ills that happen in society, and it's not right, and it's unfortunate, sadly.
Right. And if I said, and if it was true about me hating all black women, you think I have black women on my platform? You think I will have any black woman supporting what I'm talking about? I have white women on here as well. You think they would support me if I said I hated all women? I hated black women, and all black women's a piece of shit garbage, and all single mothers at fault and all that shit? No, not at all. Come on, man. That's why I say she didn't watch me. She looked at the video, made a few videos, and saw the hat and said, yeah, okay, I got one. Just like she saw Dr. Thunder and said, oh, Ohio State University, yeah, I can make it fuck up his career. See, that's what baby mama terrorists do.
Right, exactly. Right.
See, me, you ain't gonna destroy me because I don't work for nobody.
Exactly.
I just want a couch all day, so you can't fire me. So I'm good. Fuck you. Let's continue. Its author, then Assistant Labor Secretary Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and Monish, given the strains of disorganized and matrifocal family life in which so many Negro youth come to age, the armed forces are dramatic and desperately needed change. A world away from women and a world run by strong men, unquestioned authority. On our Zoom date, King had also bemoaned the idea of Black women leading anything from household to topics of conversation. His belief, one clearly indebted, the legacy of the Moynihan report that was that Black men's supremacy in heterosexual relationships is the healing balm the Black community needs to subvert a racial caste system. What's your thoughts on that?
Right. Well, yeah, that's interesting.
It is.
So based on what Moynihan was saying, based on what she was saying, is that if you want to get rid of the racial inequalities, you got to give Black men, the power in the relationship. You got to give Black men the power to be autonomous and to lead their families in the proper direction. There's been arguments back and forth. Was there ever a true patriarchy? And I would say at the macro level, there was never a true patriarchy. I would say at the more or less micro level, perhaps there was some semblance of a patriarchy, but at the macro level, it never was. And so basically what the Moynihan report was more or less saying, based on what I hear some of the other brothers talk about, that as Black women were getting government subsidies, instead of them coming with their men to more or less continue to fortify the community, because a lot of the things compared to the civil rights movement, also as it relates to affirmative action, a lot of times those benefits were supposed to go to Black men. They didn't go to Black men. They went to a lot of our women. So just like those benefits went to the women in the form of government subsidies for child welfare, also it went to our women as it relates to affirmative action. And so what Moynihan was saying, if you want to see a more vibrant Black community, give Black men the power to become autonomous, to lead their families, and then you can get rid of the caste system. And so what some of the scholars are saying is that, and some of the brothers in the space are saying is that, instead of our women using those benefits to make the Black family stronger, they use the benefit to currently further the divide because they wanted power. And some will assert, Mr. Palmer, that many secretly lusted after the position the white women had,
Yes.
and that's what caused the great divide.
Exactly. They jumped to that feminist bullshit, didn't need no feminists, and they fell for it.
They fell for it, right.
Right. I'm gonna read this last paragraph. It's more to show, but I'm not, because Coach Kadisha got leaving in a few minutes. I want him to definitely speak his piece, and I'm gonna let y'all see the clip from Bernard Riley. This one, she talked about Obsidian Ali, Philly resident and self-described co-founder of the Black Manosphere, told me has a great deal of respect for the Moynihan and his report. Over the past 12 years, Ali says his writing and videos have been featured on just about every Black Manosphere venue of note. According to Ali, he sought to establish and expand the Black Manosphere because Black women as a group have long enjoyed the megaphone to air out their grievances, much of it, not all of it, concerning Black men. And I got tired of being left out of the conversation. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to read.
Well, you know what? I would love to see that Bernard Riley video, man, before I go, because this is getting good, man. I want to stay on longer. This is good. So, yeah, do the Bernard Riley video, because
cool.
I want to check it out.
Cool. I'm going to give a shout out to the Supreme Team for this one out. They said, that she's going to gloss over the, I can't.
Anecdotal.
Anecdotal facts. Yeah, 100%. And that's what I want you to see. I shortened it up, too, so because Obsidian made her get quiet, and also she was stuttering a little bit. She changed the subject. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Thunder. He's going to mind me up so I can battle these BMTs for you. You ain't no mind? I'll make you mine.
And send me the video too, Mr. Palmer. Send me that video, brother. I would love to see that video. Please send it to me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, send me that video.
Let me get to it right now. Let's check it out. and also I'll send it to you. I had shown it up, but if you want to pay, it's like his was 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna see all of it, but I'm still want to see some of it while you're talking. So go ahead.
Yeah, this could be like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Let me see. And Dr. Thunder, we were just talking about you, but letting y'all know Monday it'll be me, Dr. Thunder, and also Obsidian. We're gonna talk about the situation with the Black Manosphere and the article. And Father, like I said before, I don't know if you was in here, brother, but I said, Father, I said they put you in there because they want to try to get you fired from your job and put your name out there so they can say you affiliated with hate mongers and
right.
And hating black women, all that shit. See, I know why they did. That's what these baby mama tears do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put you affiliation with so quote unquote evildoers. So yeah, Doc Dunner, you already a mod. I know why that's what these baby mama tears do. All right, this brother Bernard Riley speak this piece on the situation. He's gonna put a clip in where Obsidian asked her a legit question and she got quiet. And that's why I said I went there to do an interview with this clown. Change the subject. So check this out, y'all. Shout out to Bernard Riley, fair use. You know what I'm saying? He just posted today. It was a 50-minute clip. Definitely check him out because he said some real shit.
Let's examine it from the top. Let's go right to the founders of the Black Manosphere, one of which that you interviewed, Mumia Obsidian Ali. Let's examine it from that perspective. Okay, let's look at Obsidian. Let's look at O'Shea Duke Jackson. Let's look at Angry Man. So let's look at O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson is pro-black. He believes black men should only be with black women. He doesn't believe that black men should date out at all. Mumia Obsidian Ali, who you interviewed, I think he's probably even slightly more strict in that because he just recently on my show was asked about dating black women in the diaspora and other places, whether it's Brazil or, you know, he says he pretty much more or less said that the preference should be American black women. We have a unique situation here, the African descendants of slaves, so to speak, and unique problems, unique issues that he thinks should be worked on together. Angry Man, if you watch his videos, he has a ring on his finger. His wife, I believe it is, has a ring on the finger. I hesitate when I said wife. I don't know the exact situation. I just know they wear rings. I don't know if they went down and signed some legally binding documents at the courthouse, but I do know and understand that they're either married or de facto married. But one thing is non-negotiable. He's a family man. He believes in family traditional values. So that's right there from the founders. That's right there from the founders. And if you look at the biggest, most popular voice, Kevin Samuels, who's married twice to a black woman and advocates for marriages, advocates for black men and black women getting together, but on the black man's terms. And I think that's the biggest issue that you have here. The black men in the Black Manosphere, from the top up. I talked about O'Shea, talked about Angry Man, talked about Obsidian, talked about Kevin Samuels. All of them are for, in favor of, or at least okay with black men and black women getting together and building families. None of them are against that. Even the other people that you mentioned in your article, Mr. Palmer, he's married. Dr. Thunder.
And you know what? And yes, I am married. I've been married for 2 years, and also my wife ain't she mixed. She's not fully black. So, like I said, I don't knock nobody to say marry you a black woman, American black woman. You do if you want to marry an American black woman. You want to marry a white woman, a Latino woman. You do whatever fits you, as long as you got the right woman. And no
right. I totally agree. I totally agree.
To get married, but I had kids with a black woman. I saw the light, and I went left.
Mm-hmm.
Her daddy black, her mama white. So
I agree with you, Mr. Palmer. I don't necessarily believe that men should be more or less pigeonholed into doing what folks say. Listen, I did a show called The Prize Catcher, and I believe that men determine or are the gatekeepers to relationships. The man determines if she's prize worthy. If a woman is not prize worthy or prize ready, then that man has a right to exercise his options anywhere. Should a man try with Sisters in America first? Yes, if they can find one. But if they feel like they're not getting what they want here in America, I succinctly believe that men should live their lives on their own terms. As a therapist, Mr. Palmer, we talk about something called the right to self-determination in the treatment outcomes. But also in the social outcomes, I believe outside of clinical therapy, that a man should be able to have the right to determination to get the woman of his dreams, whether she's Afro-Latin, whether she's Black ADOS American, whether she's whatever. I think a man should have a right to live his life on his own terms if that woman is suiting his needs. It's like my friend Richie Zoom to Tyler, Richie Mack. Many brothers tried the first time with American black women, but it didn't work. So you got to keep going through that cycle of beating yourself beside the head. Sometimes men say, you know what, SYSBM, so I'm going to do what's best for me. Right. And if it means I'm going to get a woman outside of America, then I'm going to do it.
So be it, goddamn, be proud.
Exactly.
Stop, and that's nothing, man. Stop worrying about what another motherfucker say. I told y'all.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
You do what's best for you.
Do what's best for you, right?
You don't have to marry somebody black because your mama or somebody tell you that. God damn it, if you can't find your good, strong, good black woman that's gonna follow you and submit to you and be a good wife, then what the fuck you trying to look for? Fuck them. And that goes for you black women. If you can't find you a good traditional black man that want to be a lead, that want to be able to run the house and do what need to get done, then what the fuck you looking for him for and you can't find him? Live your life to the fullest. I mean, to each his own. That's why somebody asked me, what about black men get a white woman? I ain't never told about running to get a white one, but if you do, that's your thing. I don't give a fuck. That ain't my thing like that, but to each his own. I'm not going to say you wrong because that one might treat you like a king of kings.
Exactly.
I would not look at you and shun your way. You do what you want to do. A lot of guys say I never get married. I have no problem with that.
Right. I totally agree.
I ain't tell you get married. You stupid. I'm telling you, change the law of your mind. And you see what's going on with the high rate of divorces and child support and all that shit. Why put yourself in a situation and do a bad investment?
Exactly.
I do not knock you. You do what you need to do as men. That's right. Focus on you. You first. Men first. Mm-hmm. Shit, y'all heard grown man business. Let's continue.
He's married. Dr. Thunder, he's married. Even the people that you reference in your article and in the case of Obsidian interviewed don't carry that disdain that you speak of. What happens in the Black Manosphere is quite often an accurate critique using facts, stats, data, and overall Black men giving their perspective on dating and mating relationships when it comes to Black men and Black women dating each other, and just the overall interactions with the Black women and the varying social dynamics between Black men and Black women. That's what is happening here. Black men are discussing that, and you don't like what's being said.
Right.
But to try to make...
Go ahead, bro. What's your thought on that?
No, I agree with what Bernard is saying. It's anytime, it's almost like I said, man, part of the culture of Marxism. Anytime black men, it's almost like black men, shut up, get back on the plantation, do what you're told, you can't have a voice. And that's all part of, of serfdom, or what I call the commodification of subjugation. They're just tools to be used to more or less benefit her own selfish needs. Not her coming to the relationship wanting to serve him in a traditional way, because I'm a full firm believer, Mr. Palmer, that a woman is at her best when she comes into a marriage and relationship wanting to serve her man. Because if she served him on the front end, a good righteous man, not a dusty guy, not Raekwon and Man and Shermite and Day. I'm not talking about them kind of guys. But I'm talking about good, solid man. He's going to take care of her on the back end. Men by name. You tell me another group of men, Mr. Palmer, that call their women queens. White men don't call their women queens.
No.
Asian men don't call their women queens. No. Latina men don't even call their women queens. That's why Latino men, that's why a lot of ethnic groups of women love black men, because black men are not only loving, but we're very fair. So when they come up with these very negative arguments, it's all about power and subjugation, Mr. Palmer. It's about power, keeping your foot on the black man's neck and telling him he can't speak. But any other group of men, they have the right to voice their opinion. That's why I agree with you 100%. No man will tell me how to run my life as a man. I wish another man would try to tell me how to run my life. He'll get the wrath of God. I live my life on my own terms. I don't give a damn about what no other man think. You do what's best for you. I respect every man for the right to live his life on his own. But if a man try to control me and tell me what I better do, he will get his feelings hurt to the point he might get this work. Because nobody controls me. My personality is too damn big to be controlled. So as long as you respect me as a man, I'm going to respect you as a man. But I don't believe in what I call an internet oligarchy, where only a few men get to dictate to the masses of men on how to think. An oligarchy, Mr. Palmer, is a rulership by few. And so I'm not going to let a few men in a group or any group tell me how I should think or how I should act as a man. I can respect your position. and I can agree or disagree. That's why when I started the Manhood Chronicles, I say as men, we may not agree on all things or ideologies, but we come together as allies. We're allies of a common cause, Mr. Palmer, only to dissipate, which means to go away when the crisis is over. There is a crisis in heteronormative masculinity that needs to be addressed. But I believe that I'm not going to transpose my views on you, Mr. Palmer. If you believe in an idea, I can respect your view and respect you as a man. I don't give a damn if you 5 feet tall or 10 feet tall. I respect the short guy just like I respect the tall guy. But I'm not going to feel like, okay, you got to fall in line and do what I say. No, damn that. Nobody tell me what to do. Nobody. My personality is too big for that. I wish another man would ever try to tell me how I'm gonna conduct my life. So, I'm not. I don't play that, bro.
On that note, you ain't gonna let no man do it. Why would you let a woman?
Right. Why would you let a woman do it? Right.
Now you hear a lot of dudes say they ain't gonna let no man do this, let no man do that, and you shouldn't. But I be goddamn, when it comes to these dumbass women, you let them. What the fuck? Right. You should be like that all across the board. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, you have your mama to tell you you shouldn't fight for your children. You have your mama tell you that why you want to get custody or equal custody of your child. Let that girl keep that baby. What the fuck? You see what I'm saying? And that's why I say we have to broaden our horizons. We have to change the law of the mind. We are allowed to have options. And a lot of y'all who support Kevin Samuels, you heard what he said. You should have options. And they gave him the flax with a lot of these black dudes simping for us, talking about, oh, no, I can't go outside my race. No, he said was, go outside America, you get another black woman.
Right, exactly. Right. Exactly. If a black man decides to go to the continent of Africa, and once he gets to that continent, he go to Eritrea, Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe. That woman still is the image of a black man. Even if he decided to get a white woman, that they say mixed, but if the daddy is black, some say, and it depends on who you ask, that child is still considered a black child, according to.
They say in the Bible, and they say that you are who you are, who your father is.
Who your father is, right? According to racial laws, they call it miscegenation laws. If the father was black, or some say the mom, but anyway, they call it the one drop rule. You were considered a black man. The child was considered black. Now, I know it depends on the philosophy. It differs. But if he can't find it in Africa, then listen. When I was in Brazil twice, Mr. Palmer, there are people that you call Morenas. They have they're from the African diaspora. And so South America is right beside Africa. More slaves came through the route of South America than they did to North America. So many of them have the bloodlines of, they have a diverse bloodline just like us. We got white British, they got white Spanish and white Portuguese. Some of them got Tainos or native indigenous Indian. Some of us have that as well. But my point is, the only difference between them and us is that they are Spaniard, Portuguese speaking, we're American speaking, but we're basically the same folks. They're basically the same people. So if you can't find your uncovered gem here in America, then I'll say you go to a country where she's going to be trained to honor and respect you. Because really most modern women are not trained to honor and respect men from a traditional perspective. I'm talking about traditional women. I'm not talking about modern women. If you want a modern woman, then you'll get you a modern woman. I don't know. But if you want a traditional woman that said, baby, I'm going to be your ride or die. I got your back. I live my life to make sure I love you, serve you, and respect you. Because she know on the back end, that man going to give his life for her anyway. Men take care of good women. We don't mind giving our lives for good women. We don't mind sacrificing for good women. But see, what the problem is, Mr. Palmer, many modern women, they want it for free. But some women only see men as just accessories. They don't see them as not more than a damn accessory they can put on their arm, and that's it. And so, as a clinical therapist, I believe in male empowerment. Because, watch this, Mr. Palmer, the show that you're doing, F Child Support, is part of what we call group therapy. What I'm doing is part of group therapy. We call it the universality of brotherhood, which basically means that as men, we come together and we share our story and we share our pain. Part of group therapy also is something called sharing the information. Universality means we all go through the same thing. Catharsis basically means we are talking about our emotions and our feelings, because some of us was greatly impacted. So what you're doing, what I'm doing, what Dr. Thunder's doing, Bernard Rowley, and all the other brothers, it's a form of synthetic therapy, where we're sharing our pain. Because guess what? There's no other space for black men to more or less share their pain. Because as I said before in the past, a hopeless man is a broken man. A broken man, Mr. Palmer, is very dangerous. And when a man don't have the power to speak truth to power and to tell his story, he begins to implode within. And eventually, Mr. Palmer, just like diarrhea, If you ain't got a way to get that diarrhea out, guess what? You're going to explode. Right. And that's what you're seeing now is the explosion of so many men because they don't feel like they have a voice. And there are women that are agreeing, like Dr. Helen Smith, Susan Vanker. These are conservative thinking white women that say, yeah, men got a raw deal here in America. And not just black men, American men.
American men, yeah, exactly. And that's why I say I'm in the lane I am, because it ain't just about black men.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and that's why I say shout out to the people who I have the interviews with, who got their own platforms, or I've been on your platform, because you know a lot of people who fool me know I'm telling the truth. A lot of y'all might don't like the dialect, how I talk, but it's my page. I do what I want to do. Y'all don't like that I say fuck child support because you don't want to lose your collection plate with these baby mama tears that support you. But that's you. That's why I say I keep doing what I do for me, and ain't nobody gonna change me but me. So that's what I'm saying. So shout out to you, Coach Knishi, for supporting me and
no doubt, brother. No doubt.
On my platform. Because like I said, everybody is in different lanes, but we all got the same agenda.
We got the same agenda. Right. Just like in the World War II, the Brits didn't always agree with the Italians. But they realized that they were all under the threat of Germany. So they all came together as allies. England at one time had issues with the Germans or whatever. So my point is we're allies. Allies just mean we don't necessarily might not agree on everything, but we understand there's a common enemy and a common threat. So we're going to form, just like the Avengers, we're going to form all of our powers together to defeat this enemy. And then once the enemy is defeated, then we go our separate ways, or we remain friends, but we realize the threat is no longer there. And so that's all men are saying. Men have a right to speak speak truth. Men have a right to have a voice. No man should be under no system where he gotta be shamed into submission. No other you go to any other country in the world, man, the women don't dictate to the men how to think. The men dictate how to think. And the women follow. But only here in America, we got to go back because, we drag our knuckles and say, well I'm scared because I don't know what they'll say. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't care what you say.
Fuck what you think, bitch.
You already know. Go ahead, Bernard.
But to try to make it seem or depict it as some hate group, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to move on and play a very brief part of her conversation with Obsidian, where
you're going to hear her get quiet. I'm going to play it twice. I want y'all to definitely hear this. And that right there, I don't take this person, Nicole Young, seriously. Y'all just like the rest of these feminist baby mama tears, Black Lives Matter supporters. But I'm going to want y'all to hear for yourself.
She said she was shocked when she read in his book that he said that when he said to black men that you're not entitled to anything when it comes to black women.
I was surprised to see that what was it? Maybe it was like the fourth debate where you're like, black women don't have to choose you. I was surprised at that. I really was. But
really, why was you surprised?
I think because for me, my experience of the Manosphere, the underlying piece here in all of the pieces that I've listened to or read is this idea that black women should be choosing whoever the content creator is, whoever the writer is, whoever the video maker is, that they should be. And that a lot of the anger or the kind of theories that I'm hearing come out are from people who feel like they should be getting something that they're not getting. So I was...
Well, now would be a good time to admit that your underlining assumption was wrong, even if Obsidian, who has been accused of that, has put it in his book. Put it in his book that black women are not obligated to choose you. You're not entitled to them. You're not guaranteed anything from them. He put that in his book. So your underlining assumption that all of the arguments that are being made, all of the points that are being made, whether in videos or in written format, are being made because this person is just saying that these women should choose me, these women should pick me. Clearly that was a faulty assumption.
Is that they should be, and that a lot of the anger or the kind of theories that I'm hearing come out are from people who feel like they should be getting something that they're not getting. So I was surprised that you were like, black women.
How's that any different from what goes on with black women and what they've been doing for decades?
I don't know that it is. I didn't make any statements that it was. There seems to be like a presumption that I should get this thing, right? And so I was surprised that you said that no one should. There's no should there.
Interesting to me is what you don't see on the black female side. You don't see anything like that.
I just noticed though in the book also.
You see how she got quiet and changed the subject when Obsidian mentioned about the other side of the sector, the women?
All due time, Mr. Palmer. Then I got to go. I've heard a lot of women say, "I deserve."
Right.
I deserve. Have you not heard it?
Oh man.
You hear it all the time. So just like she's right, black men are not obligated to a good woman or a black woman. I agree with that. No more than a black woman is obligated to a black man. It's no different. But see, what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. It's always he got to meet the term of her expectations, but she can never meet the terms of his expectations. It's always him looking up to her instead of her looking up to him, and they coming together to form a whole. And that's why men are going outside of the country, not because they want to go, but they're going where they're celebrated, Mr. Palmer, instead of tolerated. And what this woman is doing, it sounds like to me that she's tolerating men instead of celebrating them because she's a queer feminist. And her whole philosophy is not about male empowerment. It's about egalitarianism. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I apologize.
She don't know what she's talking about. Because like she said, I didn't know you believe something like that. See, that means you didn't do your research. And just like Dr. Thunder said, poor research. He said, dude, very poor research. She didn't do no research. She looked on there, saw a couple of videos, and wrote some down.
Exactly.
She didn't want to interview nobody one-on-one like that because she knew that she gonna be looking stupid and she could come out with the rhetoric that she did. So she's no better than these baby mama chairs I speak on come with their assumptions. I want y'all to hear that one more time on how you got her quiet. She wanted to say something but couldn't, and then she changed the subject. She deflected.
Palmer, I gotta roll, brother. But
okay, brother.
I'll talk to you, man. Much love and bless. I'm gonna be listening to it in the car, man. I gotta go.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
Thank you, sir. Man. All right. Shout out to the group. All right, thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. So I want y'all to hear that again.
That a lot of the anger or the kind of theories that I'm hearing come out are from people who feel like they should be getting something that they're not getting. So I was surprised that you were like, black women.
How's that any different from what goes on with black women and what they've been doing for decades?
I don't know that it is. I didn't make any statements that it was. There seems to be like a presumption that I should get this thing, right? And so I was surprised that you said that no one should. There's no should there.
What's interesting to me is what you don't see on the black female side. You don't see anything like that.
I just noticed though.
And what she was hesitating from what he was saying, for those who kind of don't understand, he was saying you don't hear black women saying the same thing that he said. No, they like the brother Coach Knisha said that I deserve this, I deserve that. You better love me for me. If I'm fat as fuck, you still both supposed to love me. If I say I ain't gonna submit, you still supposed to be there for me. If I say I'm a feminist, you still supposed to look up to me. I run the show. I wear the pants. And when he said that, she couldn't say nothing. She basically in her mind was like, damn.
How dare you do this to me?
Yeah. See, she changed the whole subject. And that right there, I can't take them types seriously at all. Shout out to News and Shenanigans.
Female side, you don't see anything like that.
Let's hear one more time.
There's no should there.
And let it finish.
What's interesting to me is what you don't see on the black female side. You don't see anything like that.
I just noticed though in the book also, I'm curious about this. I also asked, who did I talk to? I talked to Mad Bus Driver X about SYSBM.
When he said that to her, she paused 6 to 8 seconds of dead air and then changed the subject. I'm going to play the dead air again.
She didn't say shit.
What's interesting to me is what you don't see on the black female side. You don't see anything like that.
You heard him.
I just noticed though in the book also, I'm curious about this. I also asked, who did I talk to? I talked to Mad Bus Driver X about SYSBM. There's no mention of Black queer people in your book. Like, and you say at the beginning, you're like, I'm not a homophobe, etc. And
she changed the subject about Black queer people. And I guess she read in the book he didn't have no problem. He's not homophobic. What the fuck they got to do with Black heterosexual men having options, choices, and changing laws in their mind and bettering themselves for the greater good? And on that note, that's when Bernard Riley laughed. He took his headphones off. I clipped that. I didn't want to hear no more. And I left it at that because there wasn't nothing else to be said. See, and that's what I'm saying. She came in the gate with the assumption, and she put everybody in one basket, saying everybody's Black Manosphere, and saying that we hate women, but and belittle Black women, all this stuff. But the actuality is, all we trying to do is tell men that we have options. We have to change the laws of the mind. We have to do men first as a whole. And again, I have to say it again. When it comes to my platform, on his, but it's predominantly Black men. On my Facebook is white, Indian, Black American, East African, and so on. I got a multiracial on my platform on Facebook. Because I tell you, when it comes to this child support system, it's a man problem in different countries too. And for her to sit back and say, yeah, he in his own lane talking about baby mama terrorists and fuck child support hats and shit like that. I told you, I don't take these types seriously. So, far as I'm concerned, it was, I guess, a good look. My name was mentioned in Elle because of the big magazine, but
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Not at all. And I wouldn't dare do an interview with her or any other motherfucker because I don't need you, even if I tell the truth and everything. Just like Obsidian called ass out on that. That nigga ain't put that in the magazine. She jumped the gun talking about some say yourself Black men and Black queers. You can't make this shit up. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the description. Anybody want to get their thoughts and opinion on this? I'm gonna be on maybe another 15. I'm gonna get back on the couch and run for my child support like I always do. But like I said, man. But before I continue, I want to give a shout out to XL Pro. He sent me a $5 cash app yesterday, and I think I had missed out on it. He says supporting the show. Shout out to you, brother. I also want to give a shout out to the Power Up Offense for the $10 cash app. He said keep your foot on their baby mama tears and SE next, bro. Shout out to you. SE means Semper Force. And I also want to give a shout out to XL Pro for the $5 donation. One more again. He says salute, bro. Shout out to you. We got Dallas D up in the house from Texas. What's going on? They're gonna hate you. You a pick me.
Hey, they can call me whatever the hell they want to call me, but I'm on here to talk to the women who might be trolling the page. And I wanted to talk about 2 points. First of all, I don't have nothing to say about old girl who wrote the article because we just gonna leave that at that. But you brought up a point about women being taught to be independent. And the issue isn't that women are taught independence. The issue is how that lesson is being digested and regurgitated. I was taught to be independent too, but not to take the place of a man or not to eliminate a man. It's because my mama taught me that a man is not guaranteed to be in your life 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. So when a man is not there, you don't have to know how to change oil, but you do need to know when it's time for an oil change, and you need to be able financially stable enough to go take your car to get an oil change. You need to be willing to take the trash out. You need to be willing to do the things when you're single that a man would traditionally do if he was in the house with you. So there's nothing wrong with teaching your children to be independent. Every single soul on this planet should know how to take care of themselves. It's how that information is being regurgitated. They took independence to, I don't need a man. And while that may be physically true, having a partner, a lifetime partner, a husband, a spouse, all that's supposed to do is elevate you. It's supposed to increase your financial stability. It's supposed to increase your mental stability. It's supposed to increase everything in you and make you a better person. So the women who have been taught independence have just taken it to this feminist movement has taken the teachings that were intended to make you better people and have basically fucked that up. So there's nothing wrong with being taught independence. It's how women have turned that around to basically shun the men or ostracize men from society or their lives.
Oh no, it's nothing wrong with being independent. I'm thinking everybody, should definitely be independent if need be. If the husband passed away or whatever, she got to be able to do what need to get done and support whatever. But what I'm speaking on is these baby mama terrorists who raise their children that you don't need no man. Be independent.
Right.
Not the mothers who, because my mother was independent, but she knew her role. But when my dad died, she still had to be independent and do what she do. So when I speak on that, I'm talking about the baby mama terrorists that teaches you don't need no man. We got government daddy and welfare, and we good. Fuck him. You don't need
it. That's why I said it's how they're digesting it and how they're regurgitating it, because they're taking the lesson that their baby boomer mamas taught them, and they're teaching their Gen Z kids that you don't need a man. That's not what that lesson was intended for.
Well, unfortunately, society has taught many of these feminist black women that you don't need a man. They just here to, pay your child support and pay alimony and take care of your house as he take care of his, or try to take care of his. So society standards and the ones that know better, you know what I mean? That's why I say that's why they hate me and want to put me in Elle magazines and just say that two-line bullshit,
Right.
But no, you 100% right. Everybody should be taught to be independent. But unfortunately, society has taught us to be dependent. Support by the, but at the same time, men and women are not equal.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that. You provide equal roles to society to maintain this, but you're not equal to him. You weren't even created to be equal to a man.
Right, 100%.
And the other point I wanted to bring up was when Dr. Thunder was talking about, or you two were talking about, the concept of not dictating anybody whether they should or should not date outside of their race. And while anybody who knows me knows that I'm pro-black, I don't date outside of my race. I don't knock you for doing whatever you do. I just feel like there are issues in the black community that every once in a while in life, sometimes life happens and makes you pick a side. And it's hard to pick a side when the two sides that are fighting, one happens to be black and one happens to be white. And that is what the dynamic of the household is. Not saying that impacts everybody, but you do have those moments in life where you're forced to pick a side. And sometimes that increases the difficulties in communicating in relationships effectively, getting points across, understanding each other, and all of that. But he mentioned that a righteous man is going to take care of you on the back end if you take care of him on the front end. And he's 100% right. And one point I wanted to bring up on that was, I told girlfriends before, and I've always talked about this, women telling kids that daddy left us. And that's such bullshit. I'm so tired of women saying daddy left us. Daddy did not leave us. Daddy left you. You just got the house and the kids came with it. But what I want to tell women about that is, so first of all, how many women have kicked their husbands out of the bedroom because they're mad at him tonight? How many women have found out something, whether it be true or not, have heard something about their spouse and said, you need to go sleep somewhere else tonight? First, I'm not one to believe that nobody has any right to put anybody out of our bedroom or our house. If I'm mad at you and don't want to sleep with you tonight, I'll go sleep on the couch. I'll go sleep in another room. But I don't have the right to put you out of our house or our bed. And 9 times out of 10, he's probably footing the bigger end of that anyway. So when women go through these phases, even in a divorce where she gets the house, she gets the kids, what women don't realize is, as much as you focus on the failed relationship, what you're not understanding is, by you getting the house, that man is still providing shelter. That man is still making sure that you are taken care of. So even in all the shit you want to say about him, for whatever reason that relationship ended, even if he was cheating, he is still being the provider that you're acting like he's not. If he's paying child support, he is still providing. So all this nonsense that women talk about, bashing men, they don't do this, they ain't shit. Those men are still providers regardless. When you put your husband out the bedroom because you mad at him tonight and he walks away, goes sleeps on the couch, if you put him out the house, he goes to a hotel room or his homeboy house, he is still providing for you. He's not putting his hands on you. He's not fighting you. He's not debating with you. He is still allowing you. He is still being what a man is supposed to be.
And that's why I tell them real quickly, if you getting child support and alimony and all that shit, you was not independent. I hear many women say, I'm independent and I do everything by myself. You're a fucking lie. You're a lie.
Right.
You getting his income, and you not just living off your income. So on that note, yeah, you are not independent. Sorry, you know. But I wish I would sleep on a motherfucking couch because you mad at me. You gonna get the fuck off and sleep on the couch, the floor, the house, or the garage, or whatever. I ain't going no motherfucking well.
Right. And that's another thing, the pussy punishment. Pardon my French, but women have got to stop putting their husbands on sexual detention. This is the most ridiculous thing. I don't understand that. And like I said, it goes back to putting men out the bedroom. You don't have the right to put anybody out of nothing. Not unless it's your home. Your name is what's on the deed. Your name is on the lease of the apartment. You're the only person you are financially stable on your own. He's living in your crib. His name ain't on shit. Then yeah, you can put him out. But as long as y'all have a house together, I don't believe nobody has the right to put nobody out the room. You can leave if you want to, but you can't put nobody out.
Yeah, 100%. But unfortunately, they'll go to government daddy, and government daddy put your ass out. That's
right.
Yeah, that's who they go to because they know they can't do it. You can't make this shit up, man. I appreciate that. When you doing your show?
We doing a show. We doing a show Thursday.
Next Thursday, right?
Yes, sir.
Give me information so I can be on there and definitely support. You guys send me the
Will
YouTube.
Do.
Most definitely. I appreciate you.
Will do. Hey, but one last thing though, for all the women in the chat that's hating on me and all this other stuff, I understand why y'all don't like me. But let me give y'all some personal facts. Y'all may not like or agree with what I say, but one thing I will say, all the men that y'all want, I've had every last one of those men. I ain't never had a problem getting a man to respect me. I ain't never had a problem getting a man to take care of me. I ain't never had a problem getting a man to do anything for me, be a provider, be a protector, be any of that. So all that hate y'all got for me, baby, y'all keep right on hating because I got all the men that y'all looking for. Holla at you.
Yo. Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart.
Truth is what it is.
Go to Walmart. Walmart is always hiring. That's why I tell y'all, I'm trying to help you out. Shit, shout out to Dallas DD. I appreciate you as always. We gotta definitely, when you get time, come on the show. We gotta do our segment, you know what I'm saying, about these laws, titled 4D.
Will do. I'll holler at you next time.
All right now.
All right.
All right, later. Yeah, man. Hold on, Tola. I'm gonna let Face Facts get in first because he was already waiting. Face Facts, I know you driving down the street in New York, man. What's going on? Hold on, let me unmute you. Oh, you gotta unmute. You there? Well, I'm gonna pull you back because you may be doing something. I'm gonna let Tola. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, big dog? I'm here, man. You know, I stay in coke, man.
Yeah.
You know,
what's your thoughts on this thing with this Elle magazine and how they display black men, the black manosphere, and your thoughts on men?
I ain't gonna hold you. I just got a phone call about a few like about 2 minutes ago, and I can't be long on the line, but I'm gonna kick it like this right here real quick. This entitlement and this sense of like just deflection and all of this shit, man. Yo, this thoughtler mentality, it's beyond repair and reproach at this time, man. They're just they beyond incredulous, man. They're my nigga, man. Let them die out, man. Like we know what it is, man. Like the war out here, and if you, I blame the manosphere, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I blame the manosphere, man, because too much niggas waking up now, and too much brothers waking up, man, to the reality of the human condition, our condition, in our circumstance, in our community, and in our circles and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, one man can't deal with the whole world, but nigga, you got to deal with what's going on in your hood and in your house. So, you know, the red pill the red pill knowledge, I mean, it comes from within. It's not something that a nigga is, you know what I mean? We really know what it is, man.
It is within. It's in
we
here.
waking up. We woke up. We woke. I mean, a lot of dudes niggas been getting money since we was young and all kinds of shit. But like, it's like now we seeing the human condition, man. It's real, bro. It's beyond like. I mean, I know we mean the chat's joke. You know, I'll be clowning in the chat, bro. But it ain't all fun and games, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep your game tight in your head in the game, players, man. Judge Palm out here doing something great and epic, man. Like it looks simple. Look like he just sitting there in front of his equipment, just talking shit, bro. But
it ain't easy.
Nigga touching souls out here and saving lives, man.
No, it ain't easy at all, brother. Believe me, this is
and it costs, and to put a nigga on the front line of shit, it's sacrifice.
Yeah, definitely.
It's ambition behind it, man. Look, we, like I was telling Mr. Goodbread, I was on his show the other night. Men are back, man. That's all, man. We back, man. Stand on your shit, bro. Stand on business and let your nuts hang, man.
Men are back. 100% facts, man. I appreciate
real niggas back, man.
I definitely appreciate you, my brother, man. Definitely have a good weekend. You looking good. You losing weight, man. It seems like your mental is getting on some real shit the last couple of times, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Mr. Palm, I got a surprise for you, man. Trust me, man. Soon you're gonna see me, man. I got my passport, man. Yeah, I got two passports.
Passport.
I need a vacation, man. I've been trust me, man. I got something for y'all soon, man.
All right, brother. Be safe out there.
Blessings.
Yes, sir. Blessing. I want to give a shout. All right, brother. Be safe, bro. I want to give a shout out to Free Man's Journal. This brother came with some knowledge when we was talking about Baltimore. He got a lot of knowledge. He's all over in the Black Manosphere, outside the Black Manosphere. Good brother, man. $10 donation. He says, Mr. Palmer, salute. Appreciate you, my brother. You know, this is why I tell y'all, and I'm gonna say it again. You do what's best for you as men. I'm not here to tell you I'm up here and y'all beneath me, man. I'm an average Joe. I sleep on the couch, deadbeat run for my child support. That's why when they say, oh, you broke, just say so. Your mama black, you deadbeat, you broke, and all this shit. I'm everything. I'm a dummy off couch. I'm everything you say. But one thing you will not be able to do is prove me wrong. Use the same tactics all you want. Like I told y'all, when I quit Cook County Hospital, they said I was stupid for leaving. They said I was stupid for leaving a motherfucker making $130,000. They said that I ran it for child support, even though I'm the one serve papers. I'm the one that's putting out this knowledge when it comes to this child support, and they say I'm just an angry black dude. But now these same dumb motherfuckers who say I'm in my feelings, hurt, bitter, still ain't over and all that shit, be on my platform low key. You know what I'm saying? And them motherfuckers doing way more sucker hoe ass shit than I ever had. So that's what I'm saying. They try to stain your name. It's no different from her. Stain your name in these magazine and tabloids and all that shit. They want to stain your name because when you're talking about the truth will definitely set you free. And they don't want that truth coming out there because when you talk about child support and you talk about how these baby mama tears are the most abusive and everything else, and they're using it for money and they doing it for fair relationship and going to government daddy, they lose money out the collection plate because more of you brothers are starting to wake up, take the red pill, go MGTOW, free agent lifestyle, change the laws of your mind. All of you could change the laws of your mind. You decide to go ahead and do what's that? You want to be a high value man and all that. You ain't worried about a bitch. And the more brothers start doing this, the more these baby mama tears, black feminists, these Al Karens, Al Wild Male Niches, these Al Zangs and Chains, and Al Senoritas will all die out. We got my man Zone up in here. Shout out to Zone. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Oh, man, I hear you real good.
Cool. What's going on? Good show. Great show.
Man, I appreciate you, my brother, man. What's your thoughts on, I don't know how long you've been on here, but what you heard with this magazine, and what's your take on that? How he betrayed the Black Manosphere and black men as a whole?
Well, so I got to hear a good portion of what was said. I actually don't have too much to say, but I did notice, like at the beginning of the broadcast, like I think one of the comments or something was like, saying how you don't have that many followers, but you kind of getting all this shine with this magazine, like with the mainstream, right?
Right.
So my thing is this, I always grew up, with the mentality of less is more, right? So sometimes the smallest voices are the loudest in the room. You know, you don't have to be a Jay-Z or a Kanye. You know, sometimes the smallest voices are the loudest in the room. You know, sometimes the most silent voice or the lowest voice is the loudest roar in the room.
True that, 100%.
It just depends on what's being said.
Right.
See, a lot of people ain't saying nothing, but when they hear Mr. Palmer come up here saying BMT and fuck child support, that's saying something. Because like you stated, it's like what do you say, like a $50 billion business or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a threat to the establishment, and brothers are waking up. And the same way that you know, Black Lives Matter can go and get some type of reform, the same way that the rainbow can go and get some type of reform.
Yep.
Well, black men need some type of reform too. Black fathers in general need some type of reform too. You know what I'm saying? We ain't. It's okay for us to say what we got to say and be constructive about our issues, the same way that other communities are being, you know, having a voice and being constructive about their issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off. I had a Twitter page that actually got deleted last year.
Really?
I only had 40 followers though, but
Right.
I would say some of the most rambunctious stuff, but I would get a lot of reactions. I mean, 1,000 people would be liking my stuff. So one day, Lil Nas X, he did something on his Twitter page, and I made a comment. What I did is I put up a picture.
Mhm.
I said, this is my Nas. When I say this is my Nas, I'm talking about Nasir Jones. That's my Nas. And then to the beside that picture, I put this is y'all Nas, right? So and Lil Nas, he had on some wig and some lipstick and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I log off of Twitter, only to come back on my Twitter and see that he had retweeted my tweet. Now I only had 40 followers, but by the end of that day, 13 million people saw that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It depends on what you're saying, because a lot of people don't say nothing. That's why they don't get the recognition that they should get. And the things that you're saying, it deserves recognition. And I'm gonna close out on this right here. So I don't like saying I'm half Trinidadian, but my father, because I don't like the half thing is kind of crazy, but my father, Trinidadian, my mom, ADOS.
Okay.
So when people bring up the culture thing, it's a real thing. You know, my grandparents on my father's side, they're almost 100. Both of them.
Blessings.
Still married.
Blessings. Came
Came over here from Trinidad, moved to Brooklyn, and then moved down to South Carolina. That's where I was born at. Right?
Right.
There's no divorce as far as I know, there's no history of divorce on that side. None. But when you get to my mother's side, the foundational Black American side, the ADOS side, it's all kind of stuff. So the family dynamic in other cultures is still there. So I think that Black people here from the soil, and I'm from the soil too, but you know what I'm saying, shouldn't be offended when Black people outside are saying, look at other cultures, travel to different countries, look at different ways of life of how they do things. So that's all I want to say, man. I appreciate you bringing me on the show, and yeah, man, I'm gonna get out of here.
Man, I appreciate you, Zone. That was good to know, man. But that's what I'm saying. And they want to shame you for having options and changing laws in your mind and not want to go through whatever on your mama's side went through, or what, you know what I'm saying? Who want to go through the same shit that your father went through, or grandfather, or your brother? No, I'm gonna go another lane, because I'm not going. If that means I have to go out to Trinidad to go ahead and give me a woman, so be it. If that means I have to fly out to Brazil, so yeah, it is.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I do notice about like the Caribbean women. I'm not trying to say Caribbean women are better and people, you know, I'm not trying to get into all that. But what I do notice about Caribbean women is a lot of them, you know, are being raised with the intention of getting married, having a husband, raising kids, supporting that husband, living and dying together, building a legacy together, leaving stuff for their children. That's something that's being put into them from the time that they're young little girls to by the time they get adult women.
Right.
And that's a consistent message because it's in my family. It's consistent. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Come over here, man. They be fucked up. Not all of them. I seen them. They be Americanized though. Them the ones be fucked up because they going off this society standards. See, that's some shit. But I appreciate you, my brother's on. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, take care, brother. Be safe. We got my boy Shining Diamonds all the way. He from Chicago too. You know what I'm saying? You there, bro? Let me unmute you. You got to unmute if you there. He just came on the back. You there, bro? And that's why I want to give a shout out to J Flow, man, my Latino brother, man. This brother already know. Even he say the Latinos he deal with it, he say shit, leave them alone. A lot of black brothers say they're the best. So all right, he got probably his Wi-Fi got messed up or we got my boy Nope.
What's up, bro? What's going on?
What's going on, bro?
I'm just here to congratulate you, bro, for you know, when the enemy stop whining about you, you must be doing something great.
I go with that, but I ain't, because people like, you famous. That ain't I ain't famous. So I get more brothers to ban and definitely change the law in their mind. Then I'll say I'm famous. Until then,
yeah, you know our goal is change with our men and children. Yeah. You know, attention ain't the goal for us. You know, brothers of integrity, we want results. You know, and I nonetheless, like you've been hearing up here, man, we proud of you. You're doing the Lord's work, like you always say, and just thank you for speaking up for so many men and essentially so many children.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, and it's nothing, y'all. Noble got a baby mama test, but he's not on child support. So that's what I'm saying. Everything ain't about child support. Fuck child support again for you dumbasses in the back writing articles. Child support is the reason why a lot of this shit is what's going on today, which is lack of fathers and children being destroyed and so on, because it's $51 billion crime bill. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. It's I'm not on it, but I understand how disrespectful it is. It doesn't solve any problem. It's a problem in and of itself, and you got a paycheck, an indirect check doesn't substitute for a father. I'm gonna say this too: a stepfather is not a substitute for a father, because that baby don't know who they are. You know, the little quick boyfriend you can replace don't replace that baby dad. That baby is there because of that dad. Right. You know, like I was building with the big mic drop last night on his show. You know, bro, it's just at the end of the day, you know what you're doing is extremely important. It's not lightweight. That's why you up there. You know, all these people in the middle. That's why you in her article. All these people that's in the manosphere, she picked you because they're picking out who they're afraid of by the message.
I told you they worry about that money that's gonna be deleted, decreasing this shit. That's what I said. Shit, fuck child support. If people start banding together and start fucking around with us type of bitches, we ain't gonna have no money left. So yeah, I agree. So it ain't about what I can subscribe. It's about what they seeing is happening. Like I say, you go on my Facebook, I got over 200,000 subscribers. That's why I say I've been doing this shit for 5 years, bro. I'm not no kind of likely dude just starting some shit. Been there. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate you, my brother, man.
No problem, bro. No problem, bro. I'm just following your lead, bro. Proud of you, man. That's all I can say. I'm proud of you, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, man. What you got planned this weekend, man?
Get lit. We at the 7 figures.
Oh,
6 figures ain't enough. Huh?
You still doing that?
Yeah, man. I'm doing everything, bro. I had a great weekend last week. You know, went through some challenges, and I'm just motivated and excited, bro.
Man, because you be doing the courses and classes, right?
What?
With the 7 figures, because I know you be teaching that too.
Oh yeah. What I'm doing on my channel, we going over natural law, universal law. I started with shout out to Gaston's World. He inspired me to start the law of
I know
attraction.
you're talking about. Yeah. Shout out to him.
Yeah. So putting together just some curriculum to put on my channel. So like you specifically say, change the laws in your mind. I'm gonna go over what my mentor taught me and what my big brothers taught me about universal law to help brothers change their mind, especially their health. This shit is applicable everywhere. So I've been really grinding on working on that, and yeah, we just going for blood, bro. And that's just pretty much what we're.
Since January 15th, man, I've been eating fruits, vegetables, no junk food on the outside.
That's congratulations.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I've been doing it. I'm going back to the gym Saturday. Oh yeah, it's been. I'm definitely changing the laws of my mind, physically for real.
Guys gotta push health, bro. Gotta push health. Gotta talk with guys. Let's push. I've been vegan since 2012. Best decision I've ever made in my life. You don't gotta go that hard, but it's a lot of different ways to eat clean.
Yeah.
And you have to be healthy because we have to work. You know, we have to work. You gotta work. You gotta nourish your body. Stop eating for pleasure and nourish your body so what you're eating can help you perform throughout the day and throughout the year. You know what I mean? Gotta eat for the year, not just for the day.
I'm laughing at Dirty for she named every man she wanted to get fired. Didn't know Palm was a high value deadbeat. Damn right. See, I ain't gonna get fired.
Shout out to dirty folks.
I ain't gonna get fired.
So I ain't gonna hold you up, bro. I'm gonna let you run through your list. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all the moderators. Peace to everybody.
Yes, sir. Be easy, bro. We got the bailiff, and then Shining Diamonds will be back on. He just came back. And yeah, I do that too, man. I eat 2 days out a day. I eat 3. I start my first meal with a vegetable fruit smoothie at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And then after that, 4 to 5 hours, I eat a big salad with something in it. And, or sometimes I do it 2 times a day. I'll fast for 18 to 20 hours from night to the next day and wait till lunch. So yeah, I've been doing like I did before. So shout out to J Flow, most definitely. The bailiff, you say you're gonna say something quick as shit. What you got in mind, bailiff? Game of life matter, y'all.
I'm so sad.
I'm sad.
I did all this work and I didn't get put in the magazine. And I've been talking about these BMTs in the chat, and I didn't get no credit for nothing, man.
Yeah, you got people who got their feelings hurt and shit. Talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck about that magazine. Shit, I
even sent the link to Walmart for these BMTs to get a job, man. And I'm sitting at Target right now. I just can't believe it. No, but shout out to you, man, Dr. Thunder, Kevin Samuels of City, and all y'all motherfuckers, man, especially my jury of the chat, man. Appreciate y'all coming in, hitting that like button, man. I appreciate all y'all bros, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Y'all keep up the good work, man. But I'm about to get off of here, man. I'm about to go sit on the couch, you know what I'm saying? Make sure my child support don't get paid this week. So y'all take it easy, bro.
All right, bro. Be safe, man.
All right, man.
All right. Hey, Shining Diamonds, my man from Chicago. What's good?
What's going on, big bro? How you feeling, man?
Man, I've been wondering what you doing, man. We got
yeah, we definitely gotta link up, man, because I seen that video you shot, man. It was dope, man. Yeah. I wish I'd have known, because you know what I'm saying? I would hook you up with a little something, you know what I'm saying?
I need to holler at you. I plan on doing some more. That's why you got a lot of resources, and I need to holler at you on that.
Yeah, man, definitely. We can definitely work that out, man. Yeah, but the work that you're doing is awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? You say what a lot of brothers want to say, and a lot of brothers need to say. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of people being scared, man. You know what I'm saying? To come out and talk about that because they're afraid they're gonna be shunned.
Right.
Excuse that nigga at work right now. You know what I'm saying? So I got to go to the bathroom. Nah. That's why I'm like, shoot, I'll be on camera normally, but you know what I'm saying? I got to hide from the bosses and shit because I got to speak my piece. I've been trying to get on here for the last couple of days, man.
I know you came on and they like, damn, you must be in a bad area or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah.
You know what? Now I know you be coming in from work.
Yeah, man.
I'll put you in first when I do it then, since I know you be at work.
Yeah, but I just wanted to let you know, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep our foot on their necks. You know what I'm saying? All these BMTs and all these, you know what I'm saying? women that think they doing it, but they be broke and always asking for cash, knowing they put you on child support. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let these brothers know, no cash. You know, anytime she needs something, baby needs some shoes, it's in the child support payment. You know what I'm saying? Baby phone bill need to pay, it's in the child support payment. I had to tell my baby mama that the other day.
Motherfucker ask you anything, you tell them child support. Y'all seen the little skit? Anything you want, child support. You need to get something for little Billy, whatever. Child support. Well, what you want me to do? Walmart is always high.
That's right. Because if you gonna put me in the system, you know what I'm saying, not let me see my kids, then hey, I'm gonna keep my veins cold and pay that little $23 and let you, you know what I'm saying, live your life. Did you say $100 a blunt amount?
Like I said before, they think going to child support, sometimes it don't work that way. You're like, okay, if a guy make $100,000, yeah, you're gonna get a penny. But if the brother giving you $500 a month and doing all these things, and he's not working a job, he get in the streets hustling, or he got his own business, and we take him to court, you're gonna get like $100 a blunt amount. And then you mad somehow he broke and Debbie. Nah, bitch, you broke because your ass chose a broke nigga. If you want to say he broke, then you chose a broke nigga. That's your fault.
Yeah, you can tell that the court system is jacked up, because if she in there asking for child support, right? You know what I'm saying? That means she obviously ain't capable enough of taking care of the kid. When they should just hand the kid over to you, because you more capable anyways. You know what I'm saying?
But the courts ain't
you got your own place, own car.
The courts ain't gonna do that because they figure, you know, they get more benefit from you. Because see, a woman who get on child support don't have to pay child support. They can opt out. They won't go to jail. They won't get the same penalty. See, you, if you don't pay your $23 or $100, they can take your license. They can get you. They can put on your credit. They
your
can
passport.
In jail. They can lose your passport and so on. And you go to jail, they're gonna get money from you through slavery. So they're gonna win either way.
Yeah, either way it goes, you know what I'm saying? It's a system that is a hard time fighting it. But you know what? Ever since you started your platform, I see a lot of brothers talking about their situation. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West was the shocker for me, man. When I saw that, I was like, you know, it's a lot of brothers stepping up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good work that the Manosphere is doing. It's starting to take the, you know, the simp out of the simping. You know what I'm saying?
Christmas.
Because all you got is just girls with the big booty and a smile, man. You know, what's her name told us that. You know,
100%, man. You off this weekend, bro, or nah?
Yeah, I'm off this weekend, man. Hit me up, man. We gonna link through something.
What time you work evening shift, right?
Yeah.
I'll hit you up tomorrow morning, bro, around 10. You should be up by then, right?
Yeah, I'll be up by then for sure.
We're gonna do it, man, because I definitely need more videos and stuff done and get some skits and shit going. And you got the resources. And you
yeah, man. Shoot. I even got partners with a studio. So man, you definitely, man, we want you to come down and do some things, man.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's definitely do that. Because I told you 2022, no L's. We're gonna definitely put this shit out there and make them more mad.
Oh, for sure, man. No doubt.
Yes, sir. All right, man. I appreciate you, brother. Don't get caught up in the toilet.
Nah, man. I ain't gonna get caught up in that. Hey, but listen, that do for self is gonna come out real soon. So you know I got you, man. Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
You already know how I feel about that. I got the shirts, hats, and everything with that. Do for self. Couch gang.
Yes, sir.
Hey. Shit. So, yes, sir. Now you been.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and make that move.
All right,
but call me tomorrow for sure.
No, I got you. I got your number here. I got you. So I'm gonna holler at you definitely tomorrow.
I bet.
All right, love, bro.
One.
Yeah, that's my boy from Chicago. I knew who he was. That's why I let him come on. He showed his face in the background. But yeah, but hey, man, again, I ain't famous. I'm just Mr. Palmer. And I'm not famous till I get more brothers, young men and brothers my age and even older to build a brotherhood, white, black, blue, or green, and show other brothers how to change the laws in our mind and talk about our situation, whether it's the vent, whether it's to spread awareness, whether it's let you know that you got options, let you know that you're not a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? We do have to take accountability for our fuck ups, you know what I'm saying, marriage or relationship, or even if you did the oopsie. You know, we have to take accountability, but just know it's not your fault. Don't take blame because these baby mama tends to hit a settle for failure. And even when you speak the truth and show proof, they still want to say you're a hater, you're a deadbeat, you're a woman basher, and you hate your mama. But they never say that you hate your daddy. They never say that your daddy black. And I tell women all the time who tell me my mom black, I say my dad was black too. But see, say they so used to not having a father that they figure everybody else in the promised land didn't have a father. So I'm gonna let you know from my man Denzel Washington, who speaks on for Malcolm X, that a lot of you brothers who really thought that this system is for men, or this system is for what's right. This system is for the best interest of the children.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
But then when motherfuckers start saying today is the day, and then start doing the child support shuffle, and then you want somebody to feel sorry for your ass, and I don't.
Biatch.
Not at all. Go ahead, Clifford.
Christmas Eve, and they're calling my lawyer for 2 payments, telling him there's a warrant going out for his arrest. Where does he live? I got a fucking apartment in the post office box because I don't want people bothering me anymore.
That shit would never, ever die out. So, yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in. For those, y'all already know that my fuck child support Instagram was taken down. My TikTok was taken down. But I do have a fuck child support 2 on my Instagram. So if y'all got Instagram, please subscribe. Also got a Twitter. I'm trying to build that up. I got that. My Facebook, y'all seen, like I said, if y'all on Facebook, definitely subscribe to follow the page. Like I told you over here, this page been out since 2016. I got over 200,000 subscribers now. And just the last video now is at 6,300 shares right now. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm out here doing the wet leg work and doing the Lord's work. So I'm not worried about what motherfucker talking about. I got 7,000 over here. So I'm not worried about that. And if they delete that page, so be able to keep moving on. Because I told y'all, my goal is to be out here in the streets. I'm not just going to be just behind the computer. So when this COVID shit go away, my first agenda is Chicago, Illinois. After that, New York. And then go from there. Definitely start changing laws in my mind. So yeah, y'all definitely subscribe. Y'all definitely like. Put your comments in there. Tell me what y'all think. And this baby mama terrorist feminist queer by name of Nicole Young is guilty for false narrative, being biased, and being full of shit. So y'all be safe. Y'all be smooth. I'm Mr. Palmer. At this conversation, it's over. Fuck child support. Peace. Tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Baby mama terrorist. BMT. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. Riding around, try to play the Romans, innocent with an evil soul. In public, wearing fake hellos, behind closed doors, she rock them horns. I moved on, she wanna teach me a lesson. Can't see my kids, man, I'm stressing. Couldn't see my son to give me his present. She got married to teach me a lesson. Telling people she did nothing wrong, knowing damn well since I moved on. Thought that money would keep me home. Hell no, bitch, I'm gone. I don't know what you lost your mind. Try to say my name, but I know your kind. Saying I'm a deadbeat bitch, you lying. Fighting in court, man, I'm trying to be a father to my kids. She focus on the wrong shit, worrying about another being instead of us co-parenting. Put my kids in grown folks' business, telling them lies, bitch, you wicked. Split personality, oh yeah, you twisted. Never thought I'd go through this. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama. She be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies, and doing setups. It's my baby mama. I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups. It's my baby mama, I'm on child support. Can't see my kids, so I stay in coat. It's my baby mama, she be riding Lexus, finding sugar daddies and doing setups.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Truth is what it is.
Feminism was the lie of the serpent in the ear of the